Yes, hello. I am James Rowlands, and today it's a WNR557. It is WrestleMania Kickoff. I can hardly believe it's WrestleMania 41, or that this is my 10th WrestleMania. I mean, luckily, I'm not alone. Up first by my side for every WWE and AEW show is the fantastic Jaxie Scarlett. How's it going, Jaxie?
Hello, hello. Welcome to WrestleMania weekend. Going all well. How's you, James?
I'm all right. I'm excited and nervous. You know what I'm normally like. Yeah, that's just me
Yeah.
normally, I suppose. But can you
Do you
believe
know what?
this
I have
your
to agree. I'm
yeah,
both.
it's your it's your fifth WrestleMania, Jax. Can you believe that?
Oh my gosh, time flies. Well,
I
hopefully
mean,
I'll be a veteran at this point, and I like to think that I could go into this feeling like I know a bit about my stuff.
well, we hope so. And up next, our resident NXT expert and New Japan demigod, it is Monty. How's it going, man?
Doing great. WrestleMania season, man. It's just I don't know what to say other than just honored to be here again for another WrestleMania. And I mean, this is a wrestling fan's dream, to be honest, this time of year. So I'm excited to talk about this with you guys and excited to watch two events, or to break down the events and then talk about them and then watch them. I don't know, man. This is one of the probably. I saw a lot of different remarks about the build to the event, but this is really one that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, without doubt, it's your fourth WrestleMania. And last but by no means least, the woman making her fourth appearance as well. Check out my melody. Check out my melody. You think you're special? You do. I can see it in your eyes. I can see it when you laugh at me, look down on me, and walk around on me. Just one more fight about your leadership. Oh, didn't get that right. I've gone now. Straight up, leave your shit. Cause I've, yeah, had enough of this. And now I'm pissed. Yeah, this time I'm gonna let it all come out. This time I'm gonna stand up and shout. I don't do things my way. It's my way. The WNR podcast way. Yo. Gina, how's it going? I had to sing that. It's the greatest WrestleMania theme of all
I
time.
That's my favorite one, hands down. I was singing on mute. I was singing along with you. That was my favorite one. What it do, gang gang?
Oh,
WrestleMania.
well.
Did you say it's my fourth?
It is your fourth WrestleMania, Gina. Can you believe it? I thought you Monty had more, but he doesn't.
I'm old, guys.
Yeah.
I look forward to it being my fourth one. I think last year was absolutely awful of me. So let's hope, fingers crossed, G Site's back and this one will be good.
Without a doubt. Well, hopefully we are live on YouTube, so we hope everybody enjoys it. But first off, before we start anything, it is WrestleMania time, so ask about favourite WrestleMania moments. Jackson, you got any to spring to mind?
I'm gonna go with the one that's off the top of my head. I think it's probably at the time, I'm trying to get this right. At the time, it was Brian Danielson overcoming like Triple H and everyone, and winning the title against, I think it was like Randy and Batista. A triple threat. Was it a triple threat?
Yes,
It
yes,
was,
it
wasn't
was.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, yes, it
I'll,
was.
I'll say that one like stands out to me as like a top WrestleMania moment. It was so feel good. The entire crowd just erupted. So I'll go with that one.
I think he fought like Triple H or somebody to get the triple threat match. So that was like his second match. So
Mm.
pretty good, pretty good. Down in New Orleans, my stomping grounds. I don't know, man. It's
I
tough.
mean,
I got to.
that was in his peak as well at that point, wasn't it? That was when like the Yes movement was in
Oh
full
yeah,
effect and stuff. So like it just was such a feel good moment for that era that year.
yeah, man. He had worked so hard, and honestly, they could have gave it to him before that. So they pivoted and they
I mean,
made the
they were
right
meant
move.
to, they should have like, and I think
Right.
that this is why the hype was at like the height and heightened as it was in WrestleMania because this should have already happened. So everyone was over like Triple H's faction just running things and finally giving like the crowd what they want. And that was like us to see Brian Danielson overcome that. So yeah, that was a real good feel good moment.
Yeah. Uh, With mine, it's a little bit tricky because like last year was really special, and I think the funny thing about the Daniel Bryan one is that I feel like we wouldn't have the Cody moment, or the Cody moment wouldn't have felt as cool if you don't have what kind of happened with Daniel Bryan because it was really similar. But I don't want I don't want to be too recent, so I'm just gonna go back to when I was a kid and Undertaker when he was on his bike was one of my favorites. And Kane turned on him and he got costed, had costed him a match at Survivor Series, I think, and buried him alive. So Undertaker on the motorcycle was gone. I was bummed out. And then Kane was running Rampage at that time too. He had just took his mask off before that, I mean earlier that year or whatever. And so then we get to WrestleMania 20, I believe. And for the very first time in a long time, Undertaker's dong hit, and he was basically the dead man for the rest of his career. He returned at WrestleMania 20, one of my favorite entrances with all the druids and et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, man, that was a pretty special WrestleMania for me growing up because I think that was one of the first ones I bought. Like the ending of WrestleMania 20 was one of the best endings with Eddie and Eddie coming out on top, and Redacted, of course, was there too. But yes, Undertaker coming back, that moment is probably still one of my favorites because it was a special, man. It was the first time I had kind of got the chance to see the dead man. Because I was only about what 9. I'm sorry, I'm about to make y'all guys look old. I was only like 9 years old, so that's my first time really seeing the Undertaker in his dead man gimmick, and he stuck with that gimmick pretty much until it was time to hang it up. So yeah,
How
man,
old were
it's
you
pretty
when
special.
that happened, Monty? Were you like quite young?
Yeah, like I said, I was WrestleMania 20, I think is 2004. So yeah, I was 9 or going on
Shit,
9.
that's it.
Yeah,
I
yeah, I
bet
was
that
going on
moment was
9.
epic then, seeing that as a child.
Yeah, man, it was special. It was some special stuff. That whole Mania, maybe I remember it a lot better than it was at the time, but I just remember really WrestleMania 20 was one of those special ones. I think it was like Madison Square Garden or whatever. And they like to go big in Madison Square Garden. So yeah, man,
Yeah.
that was a special
Yeah.
show.
No, that
And
sounds so cool.
yeah,
Yeah, Gina, did you what was your did you have one, Gina? I don't know. I skipped out to
Um,
make sure everything's up and running. I should say I'm quite happy about it at the moment.
well, we're glad you're happy about that. We are very glad for you, James. No, I haven't said mine yet. Jackson, Monty have spoken to theirs. Um, I mean, I'll give a special shout out to Bianca and Sasha for making history and being like the first two Black females to headline a WrestleMania. That was a really special moment. But I think like ultimately, I have to mention and go with Kofi Mania. It was such a feel good moment. Even I was in tears when he won.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I think I have to go with that one.
Yeah, that's an excellent choice and a great start. It's nice to reminisce about WrestleMania because it is, like I said, 41 years old. And we have predictions for on SmackDown notes, but we do start with a WrestleMania quiz. This is going to be part 1. We're going to do the first 20 WrestleManias. And Jaxie, you missed out on the SummerSlam quiz, and I bet you were gutted about that, weren't you? I bet Gina didn't stop talking about it.
Yeah, I don't really remember why, but clearly I had a valid reason for not being there. I'm glad to be here this year to, whoop all of your butts in this.
Yeah, well, it's very simple. You just shout out when you know it, all right? And then we'll score it as we go along. Like, so we're going to do the first half, do the second half later. It's nice and easy, guys, all right? Nothing too hard. So let's get started then. We all know the first WrestleMania was way back before I was born. Thank you very much, Monty. In 1985, Madison Square Garden hosted, and the Rock and Roll Connection was running wild. The first question, who sang the national anthem at the first WrestleMania? And this is a tough one, I'm not going to lie.
Pass.
Pass.
Was it Moolah?
It wasn't Moolah, but nice to have a guess. That's what we like to see.
I tried.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally, I know this isn't it, but my first thought was Lillian Garcia.
How old do you think she
It's
is?
not it,
I was
obviously.
going to say,
But I was
how
like, I
old do you
should
think she
know.
is?
I don't know.
I didn't know she could sing, so you guys you knew about her talent that I didn't know she possibly had. Uh, uh it's tough, man, because this the part. If you even if I rewatch WrestleMania, I'm probably skipping this.
Oh no, this is a really really tough one, and even I was surprised.
uh, so it can't been the Aretha one. I know that. So I don't know, man. I want to just guess, but no, I don't know. I'm gonna pass it too.
I
I'm gonna
pass.
pass
That's
it.
fine. No, it was Mean Gene Oakland. All
Yeah,
right.
never would have thought of it.
Well, no idea why he did it, but the rumor is the musical act dropped out, and no one knows who that was either. Interesting, everybody. Yeah, it's going to be one of those quizzes. Okay, next one. What was special about WrestleMania 2? This is quite an easy one. I thought this was an easy one.
Repeat the question.
Wait, this is a podcast. Was Yokozuna there?
No, it was. How should we say? So the first WrestleMania took place in Madison Square Garden. Something was special about how WrestleMania 2 was hosted.
This is the one that wasn't on Sunday, right? Or something like that.
No, this was three cities actually hosted WrestleMania.
Oh yeah.
that year.
3 cities. Yeah. Okay, there you go.
LA, Chicago, and New York. Only one city hosted WrestleMania 3, but what was the supposed record attendance? Come on, we can do this.
Geez.
What did they say the record attendance was?
10,000.
WrestleMania 3. No.
No way. They was higher, like 85,000 something.
Really?
Um,
You're
Higher?
close. You're close.
For the
You're
very
close.
first one.
You're close,
Let's
but a
do it.
little higher.
87.
Higher.
89.
No, higher.
90.
92.
No, higher.
95.
No, lower.
93.
94.5.
Who said 93?
Jaxie did.
Oh, how did you get that? Fucking hell,
Oh my God,
Jaxie.
it's
Well
just,
done.
I knew it all
Pulled it out of
along.
the air. Yeah.
I knew it all along. I was just testing you all to see if you could get it. I had to step in and, just salvage it,
They were lying, by the way, but we're gonna move.
Yeah, about 68, I think, in the end. But hey.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, luckily for us, the main event of WrestleMania 4 and 5 featured which superstar firstly winning and then losing the WWE title when the Mega Powers exploded?
Hogan?
No, no, it's not Terry.
Macho Man, right? He
is
the
the
one who
Macho
won
Man.
it and then he lost it. Yeah.
It's the Macho Man. Ooh,
Could have won
yeah.
both of them. By the way, I always was pro Macho Man, but we're gonna move on.
Mhm.
You saw how Hogan looked at Elizabeth.
No, to be fair, yeah, exactly. I was always on Macho side. Toronto hosted WrestleMania 6, where the Ultimate Warrior, as the Intercontinental Champion, won the WWE title. But which superstar in polka dots made his only WrestleMania appearance?
Oh, that's easy. Should I give them a chance?
No, you got this.
No,
Monty.
you go for it, Monty, because I'm not going
That's
to get
Dusty,
this.
right?
It was Dusty. It was Dusty Rhodes, baby.
Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes, baby. And also, DDP drove a pink Cadillac to the ring as well.
Yep.
What
Why
a
am I not
disaster!
surprised by that? DDP is a bit of a pimp, isn't he?
Yeah, to be fair. What a disaster WrestleMania 7 was, moving from a 100,000 arena to a 14K arena due to poor ticket sales. But what was the reason that WWF gave at the time?
Oh my gosh. Was it did they blame it on a security threat or whatever?
Do you know what? I might give you that because it was a bomb threat because Sergeant Slaughter was
because he was
Saddam
Iran,
Hussein's
right?
best mate in the middle of the Gulf War. I mean, if you don't believe it, kids, look it up. It actually happened. All right.
Yep. Yep. They were playing around with real life politics. Please don't do that.
And a bonus question: who made his WrestleMania debut, defeating Jimmy Snuka and becoming synonymous with the event?
Bret Hart.
Oh no!
the snake.
No, so not who. When you think of WrestleMania, what wrestler did you think of?
Come on,
Owen
now.
Hart.
Well,
Cold.
wow. That's a good one too.
Who won the most?
The Rock.
Hogan.
I talked about him earlier.
Who had the streak?
Macho Man. Macho Man.
Undertaker, man. Undertaker.
Okay, Martin.
Fuck's sake.
I tried.
I give
I
up
tried
on
to
this
help.
quiz.
I hate these quizzes. I hate it.
Well, Mania 8 gets shit due to the main event of Sid and Terry. But who stole the show versus Macho Man in what would be a 10-year gap before his next WrestleMania match? And I'll give you a hint, he was old at the time. And he's really old now and he still wants to wrestle, but no one will let him.
Oh, yeah.
Flair.
Yeah, I know.
Flair. There you go, Flair.
There you go.
Got to be fair to Flair. You either love or hate WrestleMania 9 due to the setting being based on what? What was the theme for WrestleMania 9?
They was wearing togas.
I was going to say terrorism.
No, no. That was WrestleMania 11. I'm sorry.
Like Greek mythology or something.
Well, no, they wore togas. Yeah, I think it was the Roman times they were trying for.
Caesar's Palace, stuff like this. Yeah.
Caesar's Palace. All right, next one. WrestleMania 10 returned to Madison Square Garden. 2 iconic matches took place at WrestleMania 10. All I want you to do is name them. One that started the show, one that should have really main evented. It was I'll give you a clue. It was a big clue. Brother versus brother.
Owen versus Brett.
There you go.
Was Hogan involved in the other one?
Like Shawn Michaels
Thank
was
God
involved
he
in the other one.
It was Shawn Michaels. Oh wait, Shawn Michaels and
come on.
Is it Ric Flair?
Is it with an R though?
Randy Savage.
No, he's a bad guy.
Hey yo.
Oh, Razor Ramon.
There you go.
There you go.
I'm just going to stay quiet.
The ladder match.
Right. WrestleMania 11 was terrible. Which NFL player main evented against Bam Bam Bigelow? I've never heard of him, but I don't know if anybody else has.
Oh my God.
No, didn't ask me this. I know nothing about NFL.
The only thing I know about that is, Pat McAfee, and he's too young.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. Lawrence Taylor is way better than him. Way better than him. Lawrence Taylor is the greatest defensive player of all time. But, yeah, it was Lawrence Taylor, and people were hot about it, as they probably should have.
It wasn't a bad match. It's just that no one cared. WrestleMania 12 had a love it or hate it match between Shawn and Brett for the WF title. But what was the match stipulation? Come on.
Was it no DQ?
No, it was longer than that.
Standing?
It was longer.
2 out of 3 falls.
Come on. Yeah. Who said Iron Man?
Come on, Gina.
Me.
Yeah, Gina.
I don't want.
It was a 60-minute Iron Man matchup, you see?
And it went to sudden death.
I know, because that's egos of the time. I tell you that. And no, Pat Patterson, it wasn't the greatest match of all time. It was boring. WrestleMania 13 was in Chicago with The Undertaker winning the WF title, beating Sid. But which match stole the show, considered one of the greatest WrestleMania matches ever, and was inducted into the Hall of Fame last night?
There you go.
I didn't watch the Hall of Fame last night. That's not fair.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and take this because it's one of my favorite matches. The greatest, probably one of the. I don't even know if they've done a double turn even remotely good as this one, but they created what I do as a double turn, which is character switching, roles during the match. Brett came in as a babyface. The people loved him. He left that match. They hated him. It was Bret and Stone Cold.
It really was. And what a
blood
match!
Going down Stone Cold.
Sharpshooter. and the toughness and not giving up. That's the thing. He didn't give up. He passed out, and that's when he became the toughest SOB in WWF. WrestleMania 14 was when the Austin era truly began, though, when he beat Shawn Michaels. But who did the Undertaker face for the first time ever? And I'll give you a clue, Gino and Jaxie, it's his brother.
Kane.
Yes, it is Kane.
It's Kane. I'm trying to sound
It's
like
Kane.
I'm trying to sound like Paul. Yeah.
That's gotta be Kane.
It's gotta be Kane.
WrestleMania 15 was the first Mania I watched live. I cannot believe it was 26 years ago when I thought, let me try this for the first time, you know. But which match main evented? And hint, this was the first of 3 times they would meet at WrestleMania.
Come on now.
Oh, is this The Rock and Stone Cold?
Yay.
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh my God, are you serious?
No, you're coming back.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Austin had a t-shirt on.
Yeah.
Left his
He
vest.
forgot
at
his
home.
vest. Yeah. I remember that. Well, what did he come back t-shirt? What meaning? No, he forgot his vest. WrestleMania 16 or 2000 had something that had never happened before on the Mania card. And in the main event, a first-time thing happened as well in the Fatal 4-Way match for the WWF title between Big Show, Mick Foley, Rock, and Triple H. So what was the one thing that happened at WrestleMania 16 that has not happened on another WrestleMania card?
Did the ring break?
The ring didn't break, but no, there's no ring breakage. I'm trying to give you a clue. It's the opposite of what you think would be traditional.
Oh, it was a double pin?
No.
No.
Anybody else
Okay.
know what's special about, well, what was different about WrestleMania 16 card?
No, I can't think.
I'll give it to you. This was the first time that the main card didn't have a one-on-one
Single
singles.
match, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't have a single. You knew that, Monty, yeah?
The stipulation.
Yeah.
The stipulation. Okay.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. That's one of the most underwhelming main.
Yeah.
So I kind of forgot about that. But yeah.
But what happened in the main event as well, which had never happened at another WrestleMania?
Besides
about
it being a 4-way, right?
It's about the result. Right, it was the first time a heel champion had retained and walked out of WrestleMania as
Really?
champion still, yeah. Yokozuna, obviously,
I didn't even think of that.
That's fair.
Yokozuna
It
did
was.
beat Bret Hart, but obviously lost to Terry seconds after WrestleMania 9. Yeah, 16 Triple H. You could tell at that point he was the chosen one in the McMahon dynasty, so to speak, when that does happen. And it was Foley's last Mania match till WrestleMania 20. The greatest WrestleMania ever is 17. And this is a tough one because I know a lot of people like WrestleMania 17. Which match started the show? And I'll give you a clue. It was for the Intercontinental Championship. Not easy.
Damn. Was that No, never mind. No. I don't know.
Wait, what year? What year is this?
WrestleMania 17, and the feud started over a spot
No, but
of
what?
pee.
What?
Spot
Wait,
of
was
pee.
this Chris Jericho and William Regal?
Yes, it was.
Oh, shut up! I was just actually. I was trying to ask you what year was it? Did you say 2000? Because I swear that was like the hype of Chris Jericho at that point.
It was 2001, but like you said,
Yeah,
Jericho was at that time, and it was he
Yeah.
was peeing in Regal's tea.
Yeah.
Feud.
That's so good.
WrestleMania 18 was in Canada with The Rock versus Terry, but which match main evented instead of that iconic matchup?
Chris Jericho, Triple H.
Chris Jericho Triple H is the correct answer. Again, been improving by Triple H has got preferential treatment. That was definitely one of them. Right, 19 is one of my favourites with a plethora of memorable moments. But come on, the most memorable moment is what Brock Lesnar did in the main event. What did he do, everybody?
Almost kill himself.
Oh, he tried to do
with the
top
high
high flying.
Yeah, he tried to do what, swanton bomb or
tried to do a
something on the
swanton
top
bomb.
rope.
A
Oh,
shooting
God.
star press.
Oh, that's it.
I still cringe at that image.
He
He
kind of
used to hit
looks
them
like
all the time, man. He
a
used to hit them
spider
all the
crab
time.
mid-air.
You would not think that he would do that all the time. You would think that that was his first try, and he was like, "Nope, never doing that
Right.
again."
Yep.
Didn't
Someone
hold
thought
on,
that'd
so
be a good idea.
he hurt himself, but like didn't Kurt or wasn't Kurt like wrestling with a broken neck too? Like in that match, or
Well,
did he hurt himself in that match or something like that?
yeah,
I
there's
don't,
again, not to get too geeky here, but on the WrestleMania 20 DVD, there's a bonus disc with a documentary called The Mania Behind WrestleManias, which is all about WrestleMania 19. And this, like you said, it was backstage and it was about Brock nearly breaking his neck. It was Kurt with a broken neck, maybe not getting
right.
to the match. It was Stone Cold Steve Austin nearly having a heart attack a couple of nights before.
Yep.
That match was
Oh,
scheduled
yeah.
to be the main event as well. So yeah, there was a hell of a lot going on at WrestleMania 19. But like you said, Brock landed on his neck, and they say if Brock's neck wasn't as big as it was, he would have died, which
Right.
is just fucking mental when you
Insane.
think about that. And then finally, WrestleMania 20, where it all begins again, the triple threat
Yeah.
match for the world title stole the show, but which match stunk the place out, leading to the crowd to cheer for the referee, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, I know that one. We was just talking about Brock. This was Brock on his way out against Big Billy.
Was it
Was
Brock
this-
and Undertaker?
No,
Not quite. Not there yet.
Did have a streak though.
Yeah, he had a streak
wait,
also.
wait, no, this is
Ball
wrong.
lights
Wait,
on
was it Brock and Goldberg?
Yeah,
go.
it was Brock and
It
Goldberg.
was, yeah, because I remember the booze.
Yeah, Rock and
Yeah, the crowd knew
Goldberg.
they were leaving, but it wasn't really a good match either.
I think everyone just was cheering for Stone Cold than anything.
Yeah. Yeah, that was hyped up though. I remember looking forward to that match when I watched that pay per view, and it was weird, very weird for a 9-year-old, very weird.
Right, so the score's halfway through. We're going to leave it there and continue after we caught up with Raw and SmackDown. But scores at the moment: Gina, you're on 4, Jaxie is on 7 somehow, and Monty is on
What?
10. Yeah, I know. I don't know how either.
That's bullshit.
How?
Recount.
Bro, you
No, honestly, I don't even
What
know.
did you
how.
call me?
awesome.
So we'll leave it there for now. Yeah, 4. No, I'm right. Don't confuse me. Right, so here we go. We're going to catch up with Raw and SmackDown on the way to this year's WrestleMania. So we're going to go all the way back. We had Elimination Chamber was the last one, so we're going to catch up. Raw, I'm going to ignore the Logan stuff. Chad Gable showed up in a mask, helped New Day beat the LWO. It was in Madison Square Garden. The crowd was quiet the majority of the night. EO slapped the shit out of Rhea and Belair. And in the main event, Rollins and Punk in a steel cage. There was some great near falls in action, and Roman Reigns returned. Jaxie, I know it seems like a long time ago, but I mean, it was a great match. And then obviously Roman returning as well is what we
I
knew
mean,
was going to happen.
honestly, I had to really catch up with where the hell you were going with this. I was like, wait, how far back had we gone? Like, yeah. So this match went hard. I was really enjoying it. It was very entertaining, and I should have seen this coming with Roman returning at this moment in time, but it still came as a shock to me. But I was not mad at this at all. After everything that we've seen sort of built up all the way back from Royal Rumble, like it was inevitable. If he was going to make his return, he was going to make his return, and he was going to knock someone out. You know,
Yeah, but
and that usually it always ends up being Seth.
Was it a cheap way for Seth to beat Punk, though? Because, I mean, I know Seth's going to take it, but...
I mean, I think some could probably look at it like that, but I'm not entirely mad at it.
Yeah, true that. So we move on to SmackDown from Barcelona. Nitro and Nuso defeated Sikoa, Fatu, and Tonga. The fight ended with Fatu putting Braun through the barricade. Charlotte beat B-Fab. Tiffany Stratton ran to the ring to start a fight, and then loads of guards. You know, the normal stuff WWE does. Nakamura and Priest ended DQ with Drew attacking Damien after. Orton beat Mello. The Viper refused. Hayes, no, he offered a handshake to Hayes, who refused, so Orton hit him with a second RKO. KO come out. Obviously, at that point, we hadn't heard about Kevin Owens. World champion Gunther showed up, wanted someone local. Axiom answered the call. Well, I guess he's still a kid. The champ survived a golden ratio and finished NXT champion with a powerbomb. But Monty, how great was it to see Axiom on the main roster?
It was cool, man. I mean, especially in the home country, and then they let him go against someone like Gunther, who we know have a familiarity with working with guys like Axiom and possibly. I'm not sure if Gunther and A-Kid even fought, but maybe they did before I really started watching NXT UK. But it was cool to kind of have that NXT UK connection. And just like you said, the crowd was into it. He went out there, he put his really had gave Gunther an awesome match. And just I really feel like if people who don't watch NXT regularly were watching and checking out this show, I'm pretty sure it made a lot of people be like, "Hold up, who is this Axiom guy?" And and I think it's just one of the coolest ways. Not only do you have the hometown vibes of being where you're from, but you also get a chance to show your name against the world heavyweight champion. And so it was a really cool moment. I like unexpected type of moments like that make sense because Gunther being there was kind of unexpected, but also doing that with Axiom, I thought that was hella. It was a nice little side quest for the world champion, and it was a nice moment for Axiom to kind of, not only get his name out there, get more people out there on the side of it, but we spoiled, James. Like when I talk about Axiom or A-Kid, we've been able to watch what he's been with how good he is for a long time. So I really love whenever a guy like that we've kind of watched grow and only get better, even in a role that I remember when they first debuted Axiom, I wasn't sure about, and how he's knocked that out of the park. It's really cool to see so many casual or more people who don't know much about him get introduced to him, especially in a match with somebody everybody respect like Gunther.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. Up next, DIY versus the Street Profits for the tag titles. After several close calls, Ford pinned Gargano to win the tag titles. I mean, Gina, Great Profits won the titles, but I couldn't believe it was been 4 years since they held it, man. Like, what's going on there?
Yeah, I mean, when they pointed that out, I was like, shit, I knew it had been a while since the Street Profits had been on top, but 4 years? Wow. Yeah, they kind of needed to retain this here, otherwise it would have just made their run seem ridiculous, and it wouldn't have put them over as the team that we know them to be. So yeah, crazy though, 4 years.
Oh, no, unbelievable. On to Raw in Belgium. Pat doesn't do Belgium, so Corey's here. John Cena's a heel, his first appearance, and what a reaction. John Cena sucked chance. They just feel right, I suppose. He acted like he was going to leave without saying the word, and then picking up a mic and giving one of his motivational Twitter X quotes. He said he'd been a victim of an abusive relationship for 25 years. He claimed he's neither a babyface nor a heel. He is a human being. He said every fan has been awful to him, which is kind of true. He said he was breaking up with the crowd shortly before Rose made his entrance. An American Nightmare ripped into him and called him a whiny bitch. I mean, this was really good. But again, I mean, Jaxie, the problem for me, this was like half hour fucking long. And it was just like, did it really need to be that long to get its point across?
That would be my point exactly as well. I just didn't really feel like this needed that much screen time, I was like, okay, we get it, get to the point. It was like one of those type of segments.
Yeah, without a doubt. Well, Penta defeated Kaiser. Now distracted by Mysterio and Gable drama, letting Kai pick up the win. Later on, Lee and Ray beat the Creeds, only to be beaten down by a masked man. And then Bianca Belair and Io Sky signed the contract for the upcoming title match, but Ray Ripley showed up and attacked both women. Eradicator picked up the contract and signed it. I mean, there's nothing like the old Shawn Michaels way, I suppose, and it's good that they've kind of gone back to that. Jey Uso easily beat Theory. Seth Rollins came to the ring to talk about Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and everything else. In the main event, Braun beat Balor. Penta saved Breaker from post-match attack. He made it clear he wants the next shot as his show went off the air. I mean, Monty, what you thought of the kind of Penta thing? Because they're building up now, like I said, the Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental Championship. And again, I don't mind it at this moment in time.
No, I mean honestly, I love what they've been doing with him. Like even the opponents, if you just think about everybody he's been handed to fight up until this point, and like you said, going immediately for a title. I just love how focused his character seems to be. And the only thing to me about Penta that I'm not worried about. The only thing I just want this continued focus that people like Penta seem to be getting, where they getting competitive to really good matches, promos and all of that, but they also getting a focus of I want to be a champion. Like it's a genuine direction with everything Penta has done so far on Raw, and I just love that. And when I look at Penta's booking, it just makes me kind of sad that we don't get that consistency across the board for a lot of the other talent. I worry. The only worry I have is like post Mania or whatever thing goes on, depending on what they decide to do they continue to do that, or do he eventually he has to get out of the way and then he loses that direction. But that's I just love like you just said, not only his involvement in this particular story leading towards the IC title, but just like I said, from the beginning, from his debut all the way to where we are now, Penta has been in the ring consistently, and he's on TV consistently, and now challenging for a championship, and everything makes sense. And I just wish we could. I hope we can continue to do that with not only Penta but other talent as they continue to trickle in and they become focused. I know everybody can't challenge for a championship at the same time, but you can be focused. Your TV time can make sense and have a purpose. You can at least have competitive matches. So yeah, man.
Mm.
I love what they've been doing with Pence. I just hope they can continue it and it can trickle down to other talent too.
Right down on SmackDown, our European tour takes us to Italy, with Randy Orton starting the show being interrupted by Kevin Owens, who wanted to go for tag gold. Drew McIntyre came out, and I'm not being biased, but how over has Drew been in Europe? And I mean, even now, I mean, I didn't see the kickoff, but I heard he was getting cheers, you know. I mean, anyway, he's in mid card at the moment. He and Nakamura lost to Priest and Jimmy. Drew beat down Damon Arthur. Charlotte and Tiffany had a bad split screen interview. Not sure about Tiff's face, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Braun Fatu ended in DQ. LA Knight helped clear. I mean, are they even called the Bloodline anymore? I'm not sure. Niven beat Vega. And then we had Liv versus Jay Cargill. Morgan hit Oblivion and scored the win with the help of Naomi. I mean, it's a surprising outcome in Cargill's return match, even if it was done to further, you know, make the larger story. But a huge win for Liv Gina. I mean, we saw a couple of great things. The Mona Lever was incredible, and also Naomi having a caution tape as an outfit now is even better.
Yeah, I mean, can I just say the Mona Leva? I saw so many videos of Italians going around and just praying to the Mona Leva, and it was just brilliant. I love how much Italy loves Liv. Honestly, it was just so nice to see, and just seeing that was hilarious. But do you know what? This is working for Naomi. The caution tape, it looks good on her, number one. Number two, it just so matches the persona she's trying to get across right now. And if you ask me, this is one of Naomi's strongest personalities that we've seen in WWE. And I'm so excited to see more from her.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. We see the Street Profits defeating Los Garzas. So the final segment was confrontation between Reigns, Punk, and Rollins. Trouble Truth was out first and spoke for a few minutes before he invited anyone to come confront him. Rollins joined, and then obviously CM Punk brought out the rear end. All three men brawled as officials pulled them apart, but it was made official that this would be a triple threat match at WrestleMania. I mean, they hadn't announced it as a main event yet, but I mean, Jaxie, Reigns, Rollins, and Punk, I think we could talk about this a lot. They made it WrestleMania match. Is it as big as they're making it out to be?
It's debatable, isn't it? Really, in terms of from a CM Punk like sort of point of view, this is kind of like his version of Cody's like finish the story. Like, you know, this whole ordeal is that he's never main evented WrestleMania. Personally, for me, I wouldn't have actually had it sort of going this way in terms of for Punk. I would have had like Punk main eventing for a title, you know. This is a fight for the custody of Paul Heyman, realistically, in my opinion. So this is like, they are definitely making it out bigger than what it actually is. But like the match itself, the match caliber itself is big. Do you know what I mean? When I say that. I just think that the story itself, the storyline itself, as to the reason why they've got here, is not sort of worthy of taking away what is meant to be both Royal Rumble winners, like prerogative, which is to main event WrestleMania. They've completely contradicted themselves here. So for me, I personally wouldn't have had this main event, only because of like sticking to the rules, and just taking that away from Jay and Gunther. It just feels a little bit depleting, but that's my opinion,
Yeah, exactly. Paul Heyman's favor is more important than a world championship. I mean, that's just
Apparently so.
yeah. Anyway, move on. Raw Glasgow. John Cena starts the show. I mean, I didn't watch this live, so the shut the fuck up chants couldn't be heard. He calls everyone horrible people. He's going to ruin wrestling for everyone. He will be the last real champion in WWE. Cody came out and told him to take it. Up next, Jey Uso team with Jimmy Uso take on Wallet and Theory. Last time they tagged, I was there at Money in the Bank 2023. Pat was back commentating, not dressed like Gunther, who attacked after. People got on Jay's back. I mean, people, they're making it a thing, really, and I'm not really sure. Jimmy slapped the shit out of Gunther. But, Monty, at this point in time, a lot of people going, oh, well, the Jay Gunther feud is not working. Oh, why is Jimmy getting involved now? Obviously, it would change. But why do you think people are getting on Jey Uso? Is it just because they don't like change? Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little bit of that. It's just a combination of things too. I just think honestly, uh, a lot. It's kind of crazy how as he was on the rise and he was continually getting more and more popular. I never heard much complaint about his move set and what he's been doing has been the same. Like he literally like what he did as a wrestler when he was Bloodline Jay and able to give full promos were the same. When the Yeet stuff first took off, it was the same. When he beat Braun Breaker in a really good match to win the Intercontinental Championship and all of that business him and Braun did, everything was the same. So to sit around and try to pick him apart and say this and say that now, the only thing is different is that he's in the world title picture, and it's very funny to me how oftentimes that when back in the past, like we mentioned earlier, Daniel Bryan or even Cody, and how a lot of their rises were a lot of we know that their rise was because of the people in those buildings and the reactions that they got. Yes, is Daniel Bryan one of the greatest wrestlers of all time? Of course, you know what I mean. Is Cody an awesome wrestler? Yes, but it's very Jey Uso's popularity and rise is very similar to that, in my opinion. You know, he was killing it as a heel. He was killing it, telling stories in a different way and format. And then he switched over, left the bloodline. He's been red hot ever since. So all of the criticisms to me, honestly, like, is anybody ever gonna fix their lips to be like Jey Uso is a better technical or wrestler than Gunther? No. But was The Rock a better technical wrestler than half the people he beat? No. You know what I mean? He was over. He had catchphrases. He did his thing, and none of this stuff happened. And that's why, to an extent, I get it. Like, I understand, like, what, if you want to do this, but it got to a point where it just didn't make sense. Like, they were calling things that weren't botches. Like, it became popular to just pile on Jay and say, oh, look at him, he's not worthy of this and this and that. And it's very funny when, to me, he has been handed this opportunity because of his popularity, because of the people. And a lot of their favorite wrestlers were being held down, even with the people care. So when the company actually seems to be pushing somebody and giving somebody something they've earned because of their popularity, now it's a problem because it's Jey Uso or because it's a member of the family that has dominated wrestling or whatever. I don't know what. Like, it's a whole lot of different arguments I've seen thrown at Jay, and to me, none of them make sense because if you think about the story that they've been trying to tell with Jay this entire time, this is always, in my opinion, a part of the plan, especially as he seemed to get more and more popular. You know what I mean? John Cena still got the main event, so you can't say, oh, well, he screwed us out of John winning the Royal Rumble. Like, every argument that you can try to make that says Jay don't belong here really, to me, falls on deaf ears. And if you want to say, oh, he only got 5 or 6 moves, just like I mentioned once before, it's a great wrestler who everybody wants to possibly reclaim the title literally tomorrow, who was known for having only 5 moves. Hell, Cody is even leaning into it by talking about Cena in that way. Cena was known for most of his career for only having about 5 moves. And then he added three other moves as his career advanced. And then now we just acting like, oh, no, Cena was this and that, blah, blah, blah. No, Cena was where he was because he sold merch, he was popular, and he had catchphrases. Who else sells merch, popular and does catchphrases really well. Jey Uso. So I don't really understand it. I never will. But Jimmy's involvement in this storyline, to me, I thought was only going to make it better. And as we'll see as this went on, I think it did. But yeah, man, I don't understand the criticism. To me, it always falling on deaf ears. But a lot of that too is just the internet. Because everywhere they go, these people are still rocking. So I don't understand. To me, it really don't make sense to me.
No, without doubt. Lyra beat Raquel. Liv beat her down after Bailey made a save. Bianca and Ripley brawled. And then from the Gulf of America, El Grande Americano beat Dragon Lee. I mean, hell, it helped Edge and Christian and Miz, I suppose. But Gina, what are your thoughts on this new wrestler, El Grande Americano?
I mean, okay. Part of me was kind of worried at first that the sort of lucha kingdom, or however you want to call them, might take offense to Chad Gable, especially calling it El Grande Americano, because we just know that stands for a large cafe, a large coffee. Sorry. So part of me was kind of worried that they might get some sort of backlash from this, from that community, but I don't seem to have heard any stirrings from it. So it's so clear and blatant that it's Chad Gable, but obviously in terms of storyline wise, in a way it's funny. In another way, I'm just like, oh, don't be silly about it and just already reveal that we know it's Chad Gable, so just put the match in with Chad Gable. We're past this now. None of us are that stupid.
What do you mean it's Chad Gable?
Oh, did I just spoil it for you? Sorry, James.
What?
Not sorry.
Yeah, I just caught on too. Apparently,
That makes sense.
You
Anyway.
liars.
Wow. CM Punk came to the ring to give a promo about what happened when Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns on SmackDown. He says he still works with children. Nice. Main event next. Breaker put the IC title on the line against Penta. Dom causes disqualification interfering. Finn Balor showed up, hit with steel chair a few times. Penta looked confused. Dom handed the chair to attack Breaker, but he attacked Dom instead. The show ended with Balor taking out Penta. I mean, to be fair, this whole show kind of felt like Phil, and the crowd wasn't as hot because of missing stars like Drew McIntyre. How do you not have McIntyre in Glasgow? But Jaxie, has the build to WrestleMania dragged on for too long? Because I feel it was kind of ready a couple of weeks ago, and even when we're doing this, do you know what I mean? It's just, did they wait too long to have it?
Yeah, I mean, I think for once, like they'd already built up all of this enough story leading to it, so it was kind of like we were ready for this now, But again, I do feel like especially that current episode, it kind of felt like they were trying to give us filler stuff that they're eventually going to add to the card, and that includes the sort of like El Grande sort of match we're getting and stuff. So it was like, they just realized, oh shit, we're caught up with everything. So let's just create some filler that will actually also incorporate into WrestleMania. I just think everyone's ready for it now.
Yeah, without a doubt. We got SmackDown in London. I didn't go as the cheapest tickets for £275. I paid $250 for the PLE. The seats we sat for the house show, you remember we went to WWE Live, was it last year? They were £450 each now. So it just shows you. I know.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Why does WWE think that I'm rich?
Why do they think they're all? I think this is a discussion. This is the road that we could go down. But again, I just don't. At this moment in time, there seems to be an arrogance from WWE of saying, "Look, well, people are going to buy these no matter what the price," and they are, I suppose. But doesn't help us out, does it?
Definitely not.
No. Anyway, they sang Cody and Orton to the ring. Randy thanked Cody for changing the industry, but said he still wants the title. McIntyre interrupted. They tried a 2-on-1, but Drew was just too clever. We got Pretty Deadly. Yes, boy. With full Union Jack outfits. Yes, boy. They lost to the Street Profits. Bollocks. Fire and Niven beat KK. Selena Vega was laid out after to the delight of the fans. The secret Hervis. Jacob Fatu ruined Braun and LA Knight for the US title. Naomi has snapped, and I am loving it. She beat up B-Fab and Me Chin. Go get him, Tiger. Jane and Charlotte stared at each other. The Queen beat Me Chin. Drew easily beat Randy Orton. Monty, I was worried about Drew's position, but I think it just shows you I shouldn't be too bad because not many can beat Randy Orton clean like this.
Was it? Was it? Ah, whatever. Anyway, was it clean? Ah, whatever. I'll let you have it. Yeah, no, you're right about Drew. Honestly, I understand the worry because he's been working so well for so long, and it's just you never know with Drew. But honestly, I really do believe over the last year, if anything, if not, and this is the most Drew Glaze you about to get out of me, I guess for now, is if they don't value Drew McIntyre, where he, at least as one of their top stars, if not top five, top 10 at least then because after the work he did all year leading up to where we are now, then that they are clueless in my opinion. Because honestly, he's been a bright spot, and even when it's not about a world championship, or even when it's not him and Punk, in my opinion, Drew has found a way to make the best out of it. So this match with Randy was cool. I think I've seen them do a little bit better, but it achieved the goal it was meant to do. Yeah, Drew gets the win, but I wouldn't celebrate too much because I think I remember what happened later.
Yeah, Priest cheap shotted him. All right, let's speak the truth here. Cheap shotted him, and then slammed him through a car windscreen. Real glass, everybody.
Real
All right,
glass. It's in
real
my
glass.
eye.
Yeah, it was in his eye.
It's in my eye.
What I liked about it as well was seeing Punk smiling as he saw McIntyre in the aftermath of the fight as he went to the ring to sign the contract. Again, nice touch. The London crowd sang all three men to the ring. Punk kept his speech brief, and Reigns tried to direct him to look at certain places in the contract. Paul Heyman revealed the match will be in the main event of WrestleMania. Reigns wanted Punk to acknowledge him and thank him. Punk got on one knee and thanked him in the most sarcastic way possible to end the show. So, Gina, like we said, it is going to be the main event, not Jey Uso and Gunther, and not the women's triple threat match. It is Reigns, Rollins, and Punk. And again, I'm just like, all right.
Like, this match was always going to be high caliber, regardless as to where it was going to be on the match card. My sister said it perfectly earlier. You've kind of just taken away the point of the importance of the Royal Rumble win. Not only does it get you a title match, but it gets you the main event at WrestleMania. That is how it's been sold throughout all these years. So in a way, you've just contradicted yourselves. You really have. And again, it's taken it away from the Royal Rumble winners because they're not in the main event. It's all about Roman, Seth, and Punk. And don't get me wrong, it's a big storyline. Everyone's anticipating the match, but I don't think it's worthy enough, especially because there's no title as well linked to this match. I don't think it's worthy enough to be the main event. Like, I know it's the custody of Paul Heyman match, but like you said earlier, James, what Paul Heyman's favor and Paul Heyman's custody battle is higher and bigger than the world titles. To be honest, you've actually just shat on the world titles by doing that.
Yeah. And again, but then again, CM Punk is getting a main event. And as he says, main event in a
Then
four-night
win the fucking
extravaganza.
Royal Rumble, CM Punk. Sorry, win the Royal Rumble, then you get your main event. No, sorry, I can't. I'm still not happy with it. No excuse.
We'll move on. Yeah, we'll move on. Fine. Raw, London, last on the European tour. Cena opened Raw to a chorus of boos and fans chanting about how much he sucks. Before he could say a single word, Rose music hit and joined him in the ring. American Nightmare ran through some of the ways Cena could make fun of him, including his time as Stardust. Rose wants to know why Cena had turned his back on the fans. The veteran fired back, saying he was going to bury his rival like he has done to everyone else. They traded words for a long time, and Cena tried to attack, but Rose dropped him with his finisher and stood tall with the WWE title. I mean, Jack, so what are your thoughts on this? Because again, it seems, and we'll talk about SmackDown as well, but Cody's had the upper hand on Cena throughout the build to WrestleMania.
Yeah, there's just like, not only is he the face, so he's got like the entire universe like on his side rather than John Cena's, but just ultimately he's come across looking as strong as ever against Cena. I'm really just kind of putting Cena in his place a little bit, but I just see like, I don't know, there's something in Cena that I can just see like a ticking time bomb right now with everything that Cody keeps putting down, because it's working. It's getting to John, it's getting in his head, and you can see that.
Yeah, well, and can we credit Cody for wearing his Blue Peter badge as well? Nice touch. Kofi Kingston wanted to prove Adam Pearce that New Day deserved a tag shot, so the general manager gave him an opportunity, but he had to do it against Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, a best place to get a good pop. I mean, they still fucking lost, but I forget how attractive Tyler Bate is. Anyway, Eric and Ivor arrived to make it clear they were ready for Woods and Kingston. And Monty, there's still time, but the New Day story since the turn has not been great.
That's putting it nicely.
Yeah.
That's putting it nicely. It's lost a lot of steam. I don't think it's their fault. I think it's a lack of a tag division, but also just lack of focus and just to be honest, I mean, other than like I think attacking Rey Mysterio at one time, like I don't really remember anything they've done that's even remotely like I think they cheat a little bit to win these days, but other than that, like what's really different, if about their standing also. So like yeah, it's really tough so far to kind of look at this. And I think a lot of that has to do with they built this big heel turn off the back of not only doing something we never thought they would do, but like to me, I'm not saying I need Big E to come back to wrestling, but it's hard to kind of turn like that on a guy like Big E, and then that's it. We're just gonna use you to turn, and then next thing you know, you just ingratiate yourself back with the rest of the roster, and you just generic heels. And at the first few weeks, they still was getting that reaction, but now as time has went on, now the crowd don't even really care to keep giving them the Dominic Mysterio treatment anymore. So it's getting rough, man, and I don't know if it has much to do with I don't think it's their fault per se. Because I think their heel work, even outside on social media with Kofi and Xavier, has been pretty good, and the promos have been cool. But they've been on TV not really as consistent. And then, like I said, it's just not really a prominent tag division, or it's not really good baby faces other than the LWO maybe. And what I mean, I guess you can beat up on Otis and Tozawa. Like, give me a credible babyface tag team on Raw that we can think of right now that people would care if they was to jump on. I mean, we just saw the return of a Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, but Pete Dunne was just a really bad heel while Tyler was gone. So are they really fresh baby faces? So like, yeah, it's tough. It's really tough to really pinpoint exactly why, but I think there's a plethora of reasons why it just feels disjointed.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I like they put Wade on commentary in England. Nice touch. Up next, Gunther versus Jimmy. And the ring NRL could have won shortly after we returned from a break, where he lifted Uso off the mat to stop the pin. He did it again as he continued to punish his brother with his WrestleMania opponent. He eventually won with a sleeper hold to end the beating. Jay run down to make the save, and Gunther put Jimmy back in the sleeper. Gunther attacked the Usos again. He zip-tied Jay to the ropes, forced him to watch Jimmy get absolutely destroyed. This turned into a bloody and intense fight. I mean, Gina, it is money now. All these people going, oh, Jey Uso, Gunther, Jimmy covered in fucking blood. I mean, this must have hurt you more than it hurt us as well.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This was actually traumatizing for me. I know it sounds like I'm being very dramatic here, but when you are a twin, you cannot help but put yourself in that situation and wonder what I would do if I was zip tied and my twin is getting beaten to Ross in this ring right now. It was hard for me to watch. I was emotional, and if you were over the Jay versus Gunther match, not thinking that there's not much traction to it, this should have reignited your spark for it. Because if people don't want Jay to get revenge on Gunther after watching that, you're a heartless prick. But it was difficult. I was actually on the phone to Jax whilst watching that, and I had to turn it into a video call just to make sure she was okay. I'm so
Oh, my
dramatic, I
God.
know, but it's hard. It's hard to watch that. Even if it's just a sibling of yours, I'm sure that was hard for anyone to watch.
Yeah, I have to agree with all of that.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably the most graphic thing in WWE since Hell in a Cell. When you think about just what it looked like, even the crowd was shocked. And that that doesn't happen often.
Yeah, exactly. You could hear the silence, you could hear the screams on getting them to stop. I also was like, why did you Usos have to screw everybody over in the back when you were heel? Because no one wants to
big
come and
story.
help out, or at least like one of the refs around the ring. Can you not get a pair of scissors and just cut Jay loose?
Yeah,
It was hard
yeah.
to watch.
I mean, I love the Ivan Drago story, so this is going to be great. Dom and Balor versus Breaker and Penta, and Dom and Balor set up Breaker to hit an accidental spear on Penta, which allowed Balor to hit the coup de grace for the pin and the win. And Jackson, that was Penta's first pinfall loss. I know it was in a tag match, but still quite a big statement to maybe the Judgment Day might actually be a threat.
Yeah, exactly. I think so far, Penta may not necessarily have taken Judgment Day as seriously. So I think it again, as you were saying, like this is kind of a moment before WrestleMania to say like this is serious now. Penta picking up a first L here, just going into WrestleMania, you question, well, who really is going to pick up the win here? So yeah, it feels like shit just got real for even the Fatal 4-Way match.
Yeah, without a doubt. The Women's World Championship was on the line in the main event when Io Sky defended against Rhea Ripley. Bianca Belair was the ref. Ripley accidentally kicked the EST of WWE out of the ring, so no one was there to count when she hit the Riptide. When Belair finally made the count, Gina Sky kicked out at 2. Sky ended up taking out Belair by mistake moments after, so the guest ref called for a double DQ. Always a popular decision. All three women began fighting each other, but it was Ripley who stood tall at the end. And again, Monty, I don't mind this. We know where it's going. But again, as I spoke with Jaxie about, it's just they're extending it now, aren't they? Because of how long the build is.
I wonder if next year they're gonna keep WrestleMania so deep into April instead of doing it the first weekend, like you know what I mean? Like last year they did it April 8th or whatever, April 9th, you know what I mean? Like or even earlier than that in the past too. I mean, when I was younger, hell, I think sometimes at the end of March. So like, I don't know how long they're gonna keep doing this because I believe some of that has to play a little bit of a factor into why some of these storylines, week by week, you can just tell they're just doing it. They're inching towards the finish line that we know where it's going, man. And I think to me that's what kind of makes it so frustrating that the live fans, seem to be so anti Bianca because I know she seems like she's complaining or whining to some of them, but everything she's saying is valid. And the way they're booking Rhea and the way they keep making these situations happen, like even involving Bianca in this situation, like, how is that Bianca's fault that she was the special guest referee and all of this nonsense keeps happening? So, like we know where it's going.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just kind of wish Adam Pearce just went on ahead right after the first brawl or whatever that they just, triple threat match, and then they can give promos. We can do individual one-on-one matches to get going towards anything would have been better than just putting off the inevitable that we all knew was coming. But it is what it is. But I agree with you. I think overall this feud and a couple of other ones definitely we kept tiptoeing towards the result that we know is coming, just so they can announce a match 2 weeks out instead of announcing it four or
Yeah.
something. You know what I mean?
SmackDown, we're in Chicago, so of course we've got CM Punk starts to start the show. He tries to tell us the American crowds are better. Oh, bless you, CM Punk. Ray
At
Phoenix.
home, give him a break.
Yeah. Ray Phoenix, though, made his WW beaten Nathan Fraser. It was a great choice for a first opponent. Gina, what were your thoughts on Ray Phoenix showing up on SmackDown?
I was really excited. I was a little confused on why they would bring one of the NXT tag champs, Nathan Frazier, up for what ultimately would be like, to job out to Ray Phoenix. But watching the match, he was a great pick for him because they had good chemistry in the ring and it was a really great match. And it really helped showcase what Ray Phoenix can do and, put him aside from his brother and not have people be like, oh, he's just like Penta sort of thing, so it was nice to see. Actually, I was surprised. Again, I wasn't keen on it being against Nathan Frazier, first of all, because I felt like he needed to not take an L being a champion himself, but I ultimately don't think it affected him. I think it was a great match for them both, and it just showcased that Nathan Frazier can be up there with the top dogs.
Yeah, without a doubt. Up next, Tiffany and Charlotte was a complete clusterfuck. The Queen was just not prepared for Tiffany Stratton having any sort of comeback and kind of blew her top a little bit. And Jaxie, I can't believe I'm going to come to you to ask about this, all right? But do you think this was a little bit unprofessional from both? I'm not just saying one way or the other, but it just felt really fucking awkward,
Yeah, this was messy. This was schoolgirl level, like messy, like especially towards the end where like it felt like Charlotte had to get the last say, and it was the most pettiest of things that I've ever heard. Like, and you could just tell it just kind of came out of nowhere. I don't even think that even Charlotte like knew she was gonna get to that level, but it was just all levels of cringe in my opinion. I just wanted it to be over already. And who was it in the ring with them? Was it Wade or was it Nick.
It might be Michael Cole in there.
Wade.
What Wade in there?
Wade. Because Wade
It was
tried
Wade.
to. Wade
If I
had to
was
step in
Wade, if I
between
was
them at
Wade,
one
I
point.
would have like I would have been trying to like call it. Like I would have done an audible or something and just called it and just been like, okay, and we will leave it there or
Hammered
something.
both of them, yeah.
It was
Like,
nothing
yeah,
he could do, bro.
like the longer it went on, the more cringeworthy it got. And to be honest, it was just hard to look at because it just takes you back to schoolgirl days. Like, yeah, well, my boyfriend's better than yours, you know, like that sort of thing. It was really out of character for either of them to within this. I don't think that the blame should fully be put on Charlotte because I think that Tiffany didn't handle the situation well either. So this was just messy. That's the best way to describe it.
Messy and cringy.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the complete opposite in a women's feud from messy and cringy, which we're going to call them now, is Naomi and Jade. They brawled again. And like I said, the hate you can feel, and it is going to be the first women's match at a Mania one-on-one, not for a title ever. I'm not counting Candice LeRae or anything like this first proper matchup. So again, it just shows you they can be done right when I guess both are being professional.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sad news next. Kevin Owens will miss WrestleMania with a neck injury. I mean, who knows if he will return? This was just such. I mean, Monty, again, we know it's a storyline with KO being a piece of shit, but fuck me, did we feel bad about him missing a Mania, especially with the story with Orton just about heating up as well?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys that just kind of knocks it out of the park whenever he's queued up to go. So it's really tough. He's one of the best in the world, and if this could, people don't understand the things about necks and backs. It could easily turn into like never again. He even mentioned that he don't know when he'll be back. So it's tough, and I hate to think that you know. But you gotta think about it, like he mentioned, he's been dealing with it. So he wrestled that insane match against Cody, that insane match against Sami Zayn. He gave us like at those PLEs, and he was hurt. So just like think about that, and then he ended up, needing surgery. So it's just unfortunate. The timing is, it's horrible. But I hope he gets, he gets what he needs done, and whether it's surgery or if he's just going to heal it naturally, or however whatever he think is best. And I just, Kevin deserves it all. He's all, in my opinion, he's one of the few people who, if you just think about his resume and what he's brought to them, basically since he has been on the main roster, which was like what 16, 15, or whatever that was, over the last 9, 10 years, he's already carved out Hall of Fame worthy career to me. So if this is it, I mean, I hope it's not, but if it is, he's already one of the greatest and one of my favorites of all time. And it's a shame because I feel like he has so much else he could do and so much else to give. And I think him and Randy were going to give us a great match. Maybe even a sleeper, one of the best of the weekend because they're both two pros and just know what to do. But yeah, it's unfortunate, and like I hate the timing of it too because now you have to scramble. Now everybody has to figure out, all right, who's Randy's fighting and all of that. But first and foremost, hopefully Kevin gets the help and get whatever he needs. Well, like I say, whether it's surgery or is he just gonna, rest it out, rehab it, whatever he's gonna decide to do. But man, Kevin deserves the world. He's one of the best. And he's one of everyone's favorites. So that's why it's easy. It don't matter the character he's playing or whatever, whether he was good or bad. Kevin was always somebody you wanted to pay attention to. So even when they gave him stupid stuff like the Elias or Ezekiel stuff, like the fact that you could give him whatever you wanted to, and Kevin was going to try to make a highlight of it. And so I just hope he can return. We don't know when. It'll probably be after next Mania, the way things seem to be lining up when you think about the type of injury he has. So if he does return, it's going to be a while. So I'm gonna miss him because it's going to be it's going to be really tough to think about the next year or so of programming with no Kevin Owens involved. But I can't wait to see how WWE decides to pivot. They have a lot of talent, so we'll see who gets to take advantage of that hole that Kevin is leaving. But I wish him the best.
Yeah, about that, and he's been killing it at WrestleMania these past few years as well.
I also agree and mirror everything that Monty just said about Kevin. devastating. It's sad to hear, and I really wish him a speedy recovery because his mic skills are probably still some of the best that are currently on the roster. He's going to be sorely missed throughout this whole year, or however long he's off.
Yeah, without doubt. On SmackDown, Braun and Fatu had a wicked last man standing match, and then finally the Tribal Chief came to the ring for the big reveal of what Punk's favour was. Rollins showed up. Punk revealed his favour though, and he wants Heyman to be in his corner instead of Reigns' corner at WrestleMania. Heyman told Reigns he couldn't turn Punk down, led to Punk taking Reigns out with GTS to end the show. And Gina, I know we've said, oh, well, it's a favour. I mean, this has been 5 months of storyline of what the favour is. Doesn't seem that big a deal. But again, Paul Heyman does bring something to it that not many people can with that kind of raw emotion that he's got. And even I felt bad for him telling Reigns no.
Yeah, I mean, again, I am irked that this is taking a main event spot away from one of the Royal Rumble winners. But at the same time, the story has just been so gripping, and it is 100% thanks to Paul Heyman. The man deserves an Oscar or a Grammy or whatever. His acting skills are amazing. Seeing the tears start welling up in his eyes when he knew he wouldn't be able to tell Roman what he wanted to hear was just brilliant, and I could actually feel that emotion from Paul. I could feel him like terrified to say, I actually can't turn this down. Sorry, Roman. Like, I felt that. So I will say, like, I have nothing against this match. I'm looking forward to this match. But oh my God, Paul Heyman, you deserve an Oscar. I love you. But it does seem a bit ridiculous. Like, all of this has just been centered around Punk just wanting Paul back in his corner. It does feel a bit anticlimactic, a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, that favour wasn't as big as we all made out to be.
I think it was the only thing that makes it cool is that it's literally like word for word what Paul said in a promo like 11 years ago. The problem is it's a promo from 11 years ago that Paul said, I'm going to be next to you when you main event WrestleMania. So that's the cool part, but really only like CM Punk nerds and people who on the internet like sharing old clips probably even know that Paul promised him that on TV. So yeah, it do seem to be crazy that they put all this TV time and all of that suspense around something like that. But so whatever, storytelling, cinema, as they like to say, right? Cinema.
Yeah, we move on to Raw, and Adam Pearce announces Ripley added to the women's title match. What a surprise that was. Lyra defended versus Bailey, El Grande Americana, and the Creeds beat the LWO. I mean, this young luchador is getting over. Kind of reminds me of a Commander type, real big future. There was no laughing, no yeeting, and no bright merchandise when Joe so slowly and seriously made his way through the crowd to confront Gunther. He was locked in. He was called to his mother and admitted he was too afraid to protect his brother. Not anymore, though. He's going to get Gunther in Las Vegas, and he's going to take the championship. And Jaxie, this is the Jey Uso that we need, goddammit.
Hell yeah. I mean, I think that especially with the seriousness right from the get-go, from the entrance, you could tell that this got serious for Jay. And it was a well-deserved and well-needed promo from Jay to really solidify like that he is going to do this. He is going to overcome Gunther, who has really come across as a great big bully right now, So this was just excellent work by Jay, and you just could feel like the whole universe was getting behind Jay on this. This was what was needed.
Exactly. One thing the universe didn't get behind was Peter Hinchcliffe, who was fucking awful on commentary. Oh, yeah, you fought Goliath, didn't you? Freak. New Day and War Raiders ended in disqualification. Dom lost to Penta. What a fucking spear by Bron on Carlito, I know Carlito's not offered a hell of a lot since going back, but fuck me, he was taken out by Bron Spear.
Is he alive?
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I thought he decapitated him.
He did. He did look like he just ricocheted off of the floor. It was just devastating.
Yeah, no, it was pretty fucked up. Punk and Rollins brawled. And Paul said, Seth said Paul owes him a favor now. Oh no, can we just get to the match? SmackDown, Orton wants a Mania match. Could it be Nick Aldis? Solo and Tammy interrupted. LA Knight made the save. The women's tag division is in trouble. Lyra and Bailey ran through Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler, Natalia and Maxine Dupree, Caden Carter and Katana Chance, B-Fab and Meechin, and finally Alba Fire and Piper Niven who faced Liv and Raquel at Mania. Jaxie, I know you were really pissed off about this.
I hate this type of storyline, to be honest. You lose your match to like a title holder, and then you end up pairing with them, and you're gonna go off and be like, okay with it. It just, for me, it's just not working. I'm kind of ready to have some sort of like, heel Bailey again. When she first sort of like, got rid of the like happy so friendly Bailey. I want the selfish Bailey back now. Yeah, I'm just not really impressed with this. Like, Lyra should be having a IC title defense match at WrestleMania, not joining a tag match. I just don't like it how much they do this, where they advertise sort of like a potentialness for a double champion. A double champion really doesn't work when you've got such a stacked roster. So why do this? It just, it makes no sense to me.
I doubt they will face Liv and Raquel.
It also ruined a bunch of women's tag teams. Like, Zoe and Shayna have been tagging together for a while now. Katana and Kaden, they've been a legit tag team more than Lyra and Bailey have been. Lyra and Bailey have been a tag group for what, a week? Like, and you had them run through everybody in the gauntlet. You just literally ruined your women's tag teams. You really did. It was in poor taste for me. I didn't like it. I thought it was poor taste, and I don't think that they're a good tag team to go against Liv and Raquel. The only reason you've put them in there is because you wanted the IC women's title holder to be a part of your WrestleMania. Couldn't be bothered to give her another match, so you decided to just put her with Bailey, who you also wanted to be on the WrestleMania card, but had nothing to do with her. So for me, I think it was a waste of what they could have done with the tag match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Worst part is that Bailey and Lyra cooked the day before, Monday before this. Bailey and Lyra did a great one-on-one match that could have been a WrestleMania match, if you ask me. That's all.
Exactly. I don't see why they didn't do that. That was one of the things I was questioning. Why not just save this match for WrestleMania? You've already stacked the cards. You may as well just add another one on there, and then you've got your IC women's title match going. So yeah, it doesn't make sense.
One thing that didn't make sense to me was Drew McIntyre with his eye patch. I mean, why didn't Drew wait to WrestleMania to reveal he had both set of eyes that could work and actually, get the victory? But Priest can't win. Drew hit a future shock on the stairs to send a message. Ray Phoenix beat Berto. Santos showed respect after. Vega beat Green by count out. Orton Knight beat Solo and Tama, with Fatu laying out the US champ afterwards. Not really much to talk about. Go Home Raw. Gunther delivered one of his best promos of his WWE career, a defiant one in response to Jey Uso from a few weeks ago. Monty, again, we talked about this story, and it really has. I think the extra couple of weeks has really helped it. And now we're seeing a great side from Jey Uso, and like we said, Gunther retorting on Raw.
Yeah, man, I think those last few weeks, like you mentioned, really picked up the intensity of it. Like you said, you got that taste of that PTSD, that side of Jey Uso that really got him where he is. If you ask me, I mean, yeeting is cool. That's what got him. That's what got him, mainstream and over, and that's what's making the money. But the best Jey Uso is when he's allowed to tap into that serious, intimidating side of him, and I think that kind of risen, made Gunther, and this is me, as great as he sounded and as confident as he sounded, it's a reason why Gunther don't ever have to get mad. Think about that. Gunther is not a guy who goes out. Now he wrestles very angry. He'll beat your ass, but he's not an angry or like a guy who goes off on a super aggressive type promo. And this is the most impassioned, really, I think I've ever really heard him speak. he's a mat, keep the mat sacred. So if you act, a lot of times when you're intimidated, you respond in only a couple of ways. You either get angry or in an irrational, or you like in an irrational fear state, and you get legitimately you show your fear. I think his reaction is okay. He's not a flight guy. He's gonna fight, and I think that does give credence to okay. Gunther's gonna bring it, but I do think that Jey Uso forced him into that spot, and I think that's some really great storytelling to at least show that even though Gunther is up on him and is beating him 3 times or whatever, that Jey Uso is definitely in his head, and I think that really adds another layer to the actual match that we will be seeing. So yeah, man, I think the Jimmy stuff was genius, and it really added a serious layer to a match that even if you weren't looking forward to it because you're anti-Jay or whatever, I think you really want to watch what they're going to do now just because of how the energy that they seem to bring. The only thing I will say is when Jay came out later, you know, he just had to yeet. He was trying not to. And it's like the crowd was still loving him so much. And it's just like I would have liked if he could have kept yeeting until don't yeet until you possibly finally climb the mountain and win. But it is what it is. Like he's that over. Like I can't even be that mad at him because it's so over. How can he not, continue to lean into it and be himself? But yeah, man, these last few weeks of TV for Jay and Gunther really added a layer of okay. Now I'm expecting a physical fight along with a good match. So hopefully it delivers. But I really think this helped with the hype.
Yeah, right. Like you said, for all his claims that he was in control, Gunther clearly wasn't, and also later claimed that he was going to get him on Saturday. Bailey beat Liv, Ray beat Julius, with Mysterio getting El Grande Americano at WrestleMania. Oh, yes. AJ beat Karrion Kross. Penta Balor ended in DQ with Braun and Dom getting involved. And Seth Rollins sent a message to CM Punk and Roman Reigns, leaving both lying and Paul Heyman terrified to close out the show. He capitalized after the brawl took place, hitting both men with the stomps and also a chair shot to the back of Reigns. Of course, we have to talk about the Shield at this point in time. But again, we kind of seen this all before, And again, Gene, I don't want to keep going over the same thing, but the Shield callback was good. But I think we're ready now for this matchup. I don't think there's anything else they can do.
Yeah, I mean, I will admit that I was quick to jump on the Seth is dressed like his Shield days.
Mm-hmm.
And then when that chair shot came out, I think it was Jax who screamed like it's literally reminiscent of what happened when he betrayed the Shield. So it was a nice callback. It was nice to see that, especially because it worked with where the storyline is going between the three of them at the moment anyway. But again, God, just hurry up now. Just bring WrestleMania, because how much longer can you drag this out? How many more promos are you going to make these poor writers try and find words that hasn't been said the previous week? Get on with WrestleMania now, because it's dragging it out too much, and half of us are already looking forward to SummerSlam.
Yeah, without a doubt. We're going to have a little bit more Seth Rollins in a minute. But before that, final SmackDown. We're in Vegas, baby. LA Knight attacked Tamatonga in the car park. Like it's a Seth Rollins promo. And he spoke to the W Universe, telling the sacrifices he made for the company, saving Cody Rhodes last year when his stepdad was at home dying of cancer. He said the story began 12 years ago when Heyman brought Roman Reigns into WWE. And he says, tomorrow night, the most important triple threat match of all time, he's going to finish it. He even sat cross-legged. He mentioned Dean Ambrose as well, Jackson, which I suppose, it's good because he was a part of the Shield history. I suppose you have to mention him.
Yeah, I mean, it again, this kind of really just goes to show where they're what direction they're taking things in terms of moving on from the pettiness and of not being able to bring up certain names just because they're in a different business. And I just respected that decision for him to even use his original WWE name for, representing his time within the Shield. I think it really did solidify, the seriousness that is coming from Seth in this instance and within this promo, and it worked well. I'm really glad that they did name drop him though. Yeah, he really was a prominent part of the Shield.
Yeah, without a doubt. Andre the Giant Battle Royal featured Ray Phoenix, Nakamura, Chad Gable, Liv Kaiser, The Miz, Andrade, Hayes, Carlito, Pretty Deadly, Creed Brothers, R-Truth, LWO, Dragon Lee, Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne, Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, Otis, Tozawa, Karen Cross, Humberto, Angel, and Santos Escobar. Oh, a lot of people. Phoenix looked like to be on his way to winning the biggest match of his young career when El Grande Americano emerged from out of nowhere to trip him up and eliminate him. The battle down to familiar foes of Hayes and Andrade. The fans actually seemed to notice this. Hayes dumped El Idolo and scored what was arguably the most important win of his main roster career. Monty finally sank that Carmelo Hayes has won on the main roster.
Honestly, if you think about who, besides Ray Phoenix, if you think about, I think it was like Shinsuke, it was Melo, it was Andrade, like everybody who was in that at the end of that match, it was like Triple H was like, all right, guys, I know that they are good wrestlers. Here you go, they're here, but I don't really care. That's why I don't book them consistently. but yeah, no, it was cool. It was really awesome, man. Especially for Melo, who's so young in his career, but finally getting one up on Andrade, who kind of won their series of matches. Their chemistry, man. Honestly, I really feel like whenever they don't know what to do, just throw them out there and let them wrestle. They don't seem to be able to do any wrong when it comes to letting Andrade and Melo go at it. And I don't know what the deal is. I'm one of the biggest Carmelo Hayes fans. You know that, James. I hate this Melo don't Miz stuff. I really like. I actually like the Miz. I like the Miz, but I don't really care. It's not even that. It's just we know where this is going, in my opinion. Even if it ends up being a good team, we know where it's going. Where does the Miz teams always go until he turns? And I like Melo as a heel. Unless you're telling me Melo gonna turn first, and nobody wants to see Miz as the face consistently. You know how that goes too. So it's like the end goal is my problem with the team, unless they're just gonna get split up randomly, which is fine too. But it is what it is. The point is, it's really good to see Melo come out on top here and actually feel like this year could be a big year for him, where he finally get a push towards something. But I'm gonna be honest with you. The thing is about this is, as long as he's on SmackDown, I don't know, because it's a dude challenging for the U.S. title that I want Melo to stay the hell away from. So he might need to stay in the tag division. He might need to stay in the tag division. So, you know what? We'll see how it goes, but I'm very optimistic for Melo. Hopefully, Triple H realizes that the people want to see him. We want to see more than just a backstage segment every week or whatever. He needs to be in the ring. He is awesome. That is his safe haven. Let him go out there and cook. And obviously, show more love to Andrade. Even Shinsuke got some good moments in here. Carry On Cross was cool here. So it was cool to see a lot of guys in this match that I thought who actually are pretty good get shine. My only thing is that the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, in my opinion, at this point, is just. I mean, maybe when they used to do it on WrestleMania pre-show, I guess it had some type of credence to it. But at this point, what does it say? Like we've come a long way from when Cesaro won it. Let's say it that way.
Well, can I just say, yeah, Mojo killed it. All right, and he's a wrestler I hated so much, and he did kill it.
Exactly.
It's his fault. A couple of things I noticed in the Battle Royal: a lot of like wrestlers eliminating tag teams, which I guess was just a coincidence, I suppose. And speaking of tag teams, I loved Pretty Deadly's outfit as well. Ray Ripley gave a promo, said this is probably one of the most important matches in my career. It's a 6th champion match in a row at WrestleMania. It's quite incredible. Sky was once again disrespected, even though this is their second WWE title match in a row as well. Not even able to speak for Belair made her entrance. Naomi interrupted Belair and questioned her loyalty since ESC ignored her text and calls. It made sense due to the disconnect that existed. Jade Cargill interrupted and chaos ensued between the 5 women, ended with Sky reminding the world of who she is. But Gina, I mean, I like this, and it did make sense to maybe have, Jade and Naomi involved. But they do this on Impact, they do this as well. Why do they have to put all the women's stuff together? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like can't have it separate.
They can't be bothered to give separate promos for each match that's happening. They're like, no, all of you are going to come out, because even when Naomi's music dropped, and again, it made sense her wanting to call out Bianca, but as you just said, Io, the actual women's champion, hadn't even said a fucking word yet. Everybody else has come out. even Bianca got to say her tutus before Naomi came out. You even saw Rhea's face when Naomi's music dropped. Her face was like, what the fuck are you doing coming out? What you want? Like, it was just, it was one of those things where you could have, I don't know, you could have had like the promo between the three of them happen, everything start fighting, and then Naomi's music drop, and Naomi go, hold on, Bianca, you forgetting about me? Like it could have done that, and then had it bleed into the Jade and Naomi stuff after we got that from them. The disrespect being shown to Io is actually pissing me off. I love Rhea and I love Bianca both equally, but the disrespect to Io has got to stop now. Seriously, it does, because even I am starting to take it personal, and it's not me.
I know it's unbelievable what they're doing, but hopefully, like I said, they can steal the show at WrestleMania. We've got the W Tag Team Championship match: Street Profits versus Motor City Machine Guns. DIY calls the DQ, and it'd be a TLC match next week. Again, you're thinking, why is that not on the main show? But hey, one day before the start of WrestleMania 41, Randy Orton doesn't have an opponent, and he issued an open challenge to anyone who wants him. That would be interesting. After the break, Zelina Vega went 2-0 against Chelsea Green in consecutive weeks. Chelsea not booked for WrestleMania. I mean, Jaxie, that is a disgrace. That will teach you to be entertaining.
I mean, I'm slightly disappointed that she doesn't have one. Like with the amount of times that we've just actually said already on this pod that there's been too much time in like filling in between now and WrestleMania. They had enough time probably to build up like more of a significant match for Chelsea. But yeah, she's doing her best work right now, so it's a bit wounding to not see her get a match or a title defense at WrestleMania.
I doubt. Solo versus Knight turned into Solo Fatu versus Knight and Braun, which Knight won, pinning Solo. Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, Ray Phoenix beat Chad Gable and the Creed brothers, but unfortunately, the Intention Arena turned to Hall of Famer Mysterio, who's attended to WWE medical staff need to be carried out. I mean, Monty, this is just, terrible timing, really, when it comes to it. And I've not heard any updates of Rey Mysterio as of yet.
Yeah, no, they just look from what I've seen. They're not sure whether or not he'll be able to go yet. But if he can't go, they feel like they have people who fill in. So I guess they might insert maybe. I don't know if Dragon Lee. I don't know. That the thing is, which luchador will they insert? I mean, I guess Ray maybe you give Ray Phoenix the spot, but obviously that wasn't the original intention. So I don't know. I don't know where you go with it. I do say that it really does make it a little bit harder to try to wrap your head around what we may see because of that. So, like you said, it's unfortunate too because he didn't seem to. It wasn't really a crazy spot, but I don't know if it was a groin or I know they was carrying him back. It seemed like he couldn't put weight on his leg or whatever. So I'm not sure exactly what he did. But yeah, it was tough. Like you said, tough timing. Uh, by the way, Ray Phoenix and Dragon Lee absolutely carried the match though, and just showed out. And it's just like, man, they so like I said, I don't know if they even scratched the surface of noticing how good Dragon Lee is. Hopefully this year they can showcase that a little bit more. But also with Ray Phoenix and having Penta, like I must say, WWE seem to be focusing more on the luchadors. We'll see how long that lasts. Can it, like I said, can they continue the momentum? I'm not really a fan of what they're doing with Gable under the mask, but if that's what it takes to get them to give the luchadors TV time and storyline, even the stuff with Umberto and Angel and Santos, I've been into. So if that's what it takes to get them to work with the luchadors and the Mexican talent that they have, uh, then I'll take it. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. I don't know what we're gonna get tonight when it comes to El Grande's match.
Yeah, without a doubt. And the final question we're going to ask is, does Cody Rhodes have the guts to do what is necessary to win, or will he stay loyal to the fans? I mean, that was a question John Cena asked the WWE champion in the last verbal exchange for WrestleMania 41 main event. Rhodes responded to his opponent's condescending words with a few verbal knockouts of his own. I'm winning over a crowd in Las Vegas. I mean, Gene, we spoke about it a lot with Cody being the last man standing, but I think what was more surprising in this was also the split in the fans, where it's been more anti-Cena, but this one, like I said, about 60-40, I reckon.
Yeah, I was really shocked during this promo to hear the boos that was going towards Cody when he first started to go back against John. I mean, they shortly turned back to cheers for him because some of the clapbacks he was bringing was fucking insane. It was brilliant. I swear he said like John's neck looked like a dangly bag of dimes or something like that. It was fucking hilarious. But yeah, regardless, like I do feel like the split was kind of like, ooh, like, is this because fans are still diehard John Cena fans, or yeah, I was a little bit confused by the fans' reactions to Cody, and it makes me think, is there going to be something at play here for their match at WrestleMania? You know, so it's interesting for sure. But Cody was still put over regardless. They still cheered for him in the end.
Do not overrate. I think the effect of this being Cena's last Mania. Like a lot of these people that grew up and they've been with Cena, and I think some of that, in my opinion, play a factor. I'm with you. I think some of this could be a little bit because of Cena just being Cena, but I think a lot of that, guys, a lot of that because of what Cena is saying. It's like James said earlier. It's a lot of truth in a lot of what Cena's promos are giving, and the fact that this is his last Mania match. I think a lot of that has a lot to do with why. But like you said, I mean Cody, bro. Like at the end of the day, it was funny. It's funny this happened because of what we talked about with Charlotte. As much as I love Charlotte, Charlotte could not do that when the fans gave her hell. And then the way Cody immediately, like he didn't even seem like it mattered that they were booing him that fast. Like that's what I love the most. Like Cody's face didn't change. He didn't stumble over his words. Like it was so expertly done. Like not too many people can do that. Like I think about 90% of the wrestlers would get frazzled and couldn't believe that the fans would turn like that the way they did. And Cody just kept going. And by the end, they were cheering Cody. Like that's I don't know what more proof you need that he's in a special mode right now.
Without a doubt. We're going to cover the Hall of Fame next week as it was 4.5 hours long and sent the superstars to sleep. Also, WrestleMania Kickoff and any countdown shows that we got. So we are bang up to date when it comes to WrestleMania 41. So we're going to do part 2 of our quiz, everybody. Yay! And at the moment, the scores are Monty's on 10, Jaxie's on 7, Gina's on 4. But this is going to get us bang up to date when we actually, all of us, were doing the podcast. So there was no excuse, really. So we continue with WrestleMania 21, and it went Hollywood. But what two men won their first world championships at the event? And I'll give you a clue if you want.
I don't need it. This is my favorite man. One of my favorite men.
Was it one of your favourite moments? Well, let's see if Gina or Jaxie.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a chance.
Was the one of them Bryan Danielson?
No, it's just before we just spoke about him. One of them
Wasn't Kofi one of them?
No. You're too early.
Oh, wait, is this Seth?
No,
when he
even
cashed
before
in?
that. Even
Way
before that.
before it.
10 years before that.
2005.
Fuck's sake.
2005.
Shit. Okay, give us a clue.
All right, JBL was the WWE champion.
Eddie Guerrero.
No.
Sorry.
Too late.
Why did I say Eddie?
He fought Ray that night. It was a great match. Love that match.
That was such a great match, though.
So JBL was WWE
You
champion.
can't see the guy. You can't
John
see him.
Cena.
Yeah.
There you
So,
go.
how did you get that?
We was
Have a
just
point.
thinking about JBL's matches. Sorry, that was
And-
you know what? When you said JBL, the first match that came to my mind was Eddie's. That's why I said it, just because that was actually a really good match.
And the other man,
the reign of terror.
the other man was in a group with the guy and then basically won the world title from him.
Thumbs
Was
up,
it Randy?
thumbs down.
It's not Randy, but he was in the same group as
Randy.
Randy.
Batista.
There you
Yeah, Batista.
Yeah, Batista, of course, yeah.
go. Thumbs up,
Yeah.
thumbs down.
I forget about him, to be honest.
WrestleMania was back in Chicago with CM Punk, part of John Cena's entrance. But Mick Foley was speared through a burning table by whom? Come on.
Oh, wait, was this Triple H?
No, spear. A spear.
Oh,
Goldberg.
No.
Raw.
He'll make you cope.
Yeah.
Undertaker.
No,
God damn.
cope.
He'll make you cope. Cope.
Edge.
Cope.
Adam
There
Edge.
you go. There you go.
Wow, I don't know how the hell that was that.
choke.
That was
I thought you
painful.
meant
That was
choke slam.
painful.
Wow.
That was painful.
Okay. So WrestleMania 23 featured the President of the United States versus John Cena's real father, Vinnie Mac. But who represented them in the matchup?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take one of them. Oh, my God.
Oh my God. I'll give you a point there.
And then another one, you know, you guys see him all the time. Now, he been on TV every week.
He's tag team champion now.
Shelton Benjamin.
Ooh,
No, you're close though.
same.
Bobby Lashley.
There you
Bobby
go.
Lashley. Yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
sorry. Yeah.
Bobby Lashley.
Now,
Oh,
who was Bobby representing?
Bobby's represented himself now. Thank you very much.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I really enjoy WrestleMania 24 with Edge versus Taker and Ric Flair's last WWE match. But which boxer faced the Big Show and broke his nose in the build-up as well? He was Money.
Had no business fighting the guy that big, to be honest.
I have no idea.
No clue.
Money.
Mom,
I'll just do it. Floyd Money
Shane
Mayweather.
McMahon.
Mayweather. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Shane tries to imitate his boxing, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah, he does. Here comes the money. WrestleMania 25 featured, in my opinion, the greatest WrestleMania match ever. What was that matchup that took place at WrestleMania 25?
John Cena and The Rock?
No, the greatest. Oh, I don't know if it's your greatest. It'd be in everybody's top 5, I would say.
I'm gonna take a kill the cameraman.
Yeah, it was Undertaker in action versus
Brock?
Mm-mm.
Oh, God.
Was it Shawn Michaels?
There you go.
yeah,
There you
Shawn
go.
Michaels.
Yeah.
There we go. WrestleMania 26.
That was
Taker and
Gina,
Shawn.
not Jax.
That was Gina, not Jax.
That was definitely me.
Tell you what, I'm going to give you both points so we don't, Anyway, WrestleMania 26, Taker and Shawn was a rightful main event. It was Bret Hart's last WrestleMania match, but it was a triple threat match between a group that had just split that gets more interesting each year. And I'll give you a clue. Randy Orton was in this matchup.
Oh, this oh God, I know this because
This Evolution.
wasn't
Not Evolution.
it the triple threat between Randy Batista and Bryan Danielson?
No. They were in a group together, all three. One of
Oh,
them,
do you know what? Screw you, James.
one of them is going to main event WrestleMania this weekend.
Come on.
Oh, the Shield.
Okay, I'll do it, Jay.
Okay.
Screw you guys.
They had a legacy. Do people not remember Legacy? I love Legacy.
Cody
Okay.
Rhodes, Randy
Oh,
No,
Orton.
but
yeah.
remember, there was a big
Oh,
gap
wait,
that I
wait,
didn't
wait.
watch wrestling between, okay? So there was a massive gap of like 6-7 years that I didn't watch wrestling. So
Cody Rhodes, Ted DiBiase.
Yeah,
And Randy
that is
Orton.
it. And it gets more interesting each day.
I was
I
trying
would
to
not
think
have got that.
the other one. The other
Ted DiBiase is a used car salesman now, so he's had a great career. When he's not getting arrested. WrestleMania 27.
I'm glad he's out.
He's out, WrestleMania 27 was one of the worst WrestleManias of all time, only saved by a rematch from WrestleMania 17, and they didn't even admit that it happened at WrestleMania 17. They were saying it was a first time ever match, but it wasn't.
Was it like did it have the Undertaker in?
It did have the Undertaker in.
Yeah.
Is it Triple H Undertaker?
It is Triple H and
I
Undertaker.
knew it. Yeah.
There
yeah,
you
I knew
go.
it. Okay.
WrestleMania 28.
17 was a good match too, by the way.
Yeah, WrestleMania 28, Triple H and Undertaker Hell in a Cell was epic. But which once in a lifetime match, main event in WrestleMania 28. I'll give you a clue. It wasn't once in a lifetime because they did the exact same match the following year.
Right, for the tagline.
Yeah.
Lying right to my face. I bought this pay-per-view too, based off that line, I remember.
They built this match for a year.
For a year. One of them was
Is
at
it The
WrestleMania
Rock?
27.
Is it The Rock Triple H?
No.
Did I get any of the two right?
The
The Rock's in
Stone
it.
Cold.
Final boss was there.
No.
The
Go on,
Rock
Monty.
Foley?
Go on, Monty. Put us out.
Yeah.
John Cena. The Rock
John
versus
Cena.
John Cena.
Oh, for God's sakes! Yes,
first
it was. Yeah.
The one Rocky won.
Yes, he did. And the crowd loved it. WrestleMania 29 had the rematch of Rock versus Cena. But who faced Undertaker in their last WrestleMania match till this year?
Such an underrated
man-
match, bro.
Yeah, this man is having his first WrestleMania match.
CM Punk.
CM Punk, yeah. There you go. We're getting
That
somewhere.
match was so good.
It was really good. WrestleMania 30, which man changed the plans of the Authority and won the WWE title at the event in a triple threat match, and he beat Triple H to start the show.
Oh, Seth?
Come on.
Seth.
No,
Damn it.
no, not Seth. Beat the Authority.
Come on. Come on. You guys have been saying his name multiple times.
Randy?
Sheamus.
No.
God, Monty
Yes.
sounds like such a disappointed dad.
Yes.
Brian
Yes.
Danielson.
Yes.
Monty is such a
Brian
disappointed
Danielson.
dad.
The streak ending still hurts me.
Yep.
So we'll move on. WrestleMania 31. What happened in the main event of Brock versus Roman Reigns? Come on, guys.
They talk
Seth
about this all the time.
The ring got broke, or the ring got bashed.
The first episode.
Seth cashed in.
There you go.
Steph cashed in. There you go.
Oh
I
shit!
said
I
the
said that earlier as well.
WrestleMania 32 was awful. It was the very first WrestleMania on the podcast as well. It was a triple threat match that stole the show. Give you a hint. It was a women's match.
Yep.
Now, give you a bigger hint. Charlotte was involved. So just name me the other two.
Yeah, Becky and Ronda.
No.
Oh, damn.
Hit the post.
Come on now. Come on. Think about
Becky
it.
is in it, though. Charlotte,
Shit.
Lynch, and...
It wasn't real, was it?
No.
She like hugging people.
Baby.
No, Sasha Banks.
I know.
Oh, you know they do. Oh.
I had to screw him. Come on now. Been giving him else this whole time.
Damn you, Monty. Okay, I'm sorry.
I thought you guys would know sausage there.
Wow. Harsh. Right,
Listen,
WrestleMania.
not all of us have notes in front of us, Monty.
Stop trusting me. How about this?
Yeah, not many people have Wikipedia open.
What's my lead right now?
Oh, give me a chance to count that at the end.
Maybe I should actually get Wikipedia open. I actually would sound better then.
To be fair, I think Jaxie scored more points than Monty on this time round. So you better be careful, Monty. You know, all this
That's
help.
only
Because Monty's giving it to her.
I was just about to say.
That's
come on now.
disgusting. Can we move on, please? We've got a quiz to do. Thank you very much. WrestleMania 33 had a roller coaster. It may be what the best set was. I liked WrestleMania 24 and 29. It's not about that. Anyway, what was the main event and who won? So WrestleMania 33 main event. Can anybody tell me what that was?
It wasn't Ray versus Randy, was it?
No, we'll pass that now. So we're current times, basically.
The
I say
old man
current times,
put,
8
the
years
old man
ago.
put his, the old man put his hat in the middle of the ring. I thought it was over. One of them came out the next night like, "This is my yard now." And he was getting booed.
Okay, Roman Reigns, Undertaker.
Yeah. I can't give you that though. WrestleMania 34 was attended by one of our own, and the main event sucked balls, but it was an unexpected mixed tag match which stole the show. What was the mixed tag match?
Somebody was there.
Oh wait, was this
Kurt Angle
Triple H
and
and
Ronda.
Stephanie?
There you
Ronda and
go.
Kurt?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. WrestleMania 35, the main event, was the first time ever. What was it? And we have mentioned this before.
Was this Brian Danielson's
No.
losing the match in 3 seconds?
No.
No.
God's sake.
Think about the
I'm
triple
done
threat match
guessing.
Think about the triple threat match at WrestleMania 32 we talked about.
Come on.
What did we think it was?
Ugh.
This was Becky, Ronda,
There you go.
Charlotte.
Parking lot brawl. Yeah.
There you go, yeah.
Just actually name them. I don't know why.
Helicopter entrance, wasn't it? First women's main event, yeah. WrestleMania 36 was bang in COVID and robbed us of Drew winning a world title in front of a crowd. Bastards. But it was the 2 cinematic matches that will be remembered from night 1 and night 2. All I want to know is what were they?
It was this AJ Styles versus Undertaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Because I loved that.
Oh my god, that match
Boneyard.
was great.
Yeah. Boneyard.
Did this
And
one involve Bray?
yep. 5
Yep.
for him.
Was it Bray v Randy?
Nope.
No, it was The Fiend versus John Cena, Firefly
Guy you
Funhouse,
can't
like you
see.
said.
Okay.
The NWO
Yeah.
John
Was that
Cena.
John Cena, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Oh
He
wow.
told him a lot of what Cody's saying, by the way. Bray said that years ago.
Oh.
Some of the stuff Cody said, Bray said
Yeah,
that.
I was gonna say maybe they kind of referenced that a little bit.
Yep.
All right, so WrestleMania 37, Bobby Lashley beat Drew McIntyre, which still haunts me to this day. But which match though main evented night 1, and it was a classic. And if you want a clue, it was a women's match.
Come on.
Was it Charlotte and Rhea?
No, it was better than that. It's one of my favorite matches of WrestleMania.
Yeah, it should have been ranked higher on that list they put out. Too.
Yeah.
It's not 18 matches better than this.
It's only because one of them is not
gone.
in WWE
Right.
anymore.
It's the only reason why.
And yeah,
Bianca and Mercedes.
There you go.
there you go. Take that. Right. We're getting close now because we're all doing we've all at WrestleMania 38. We're all doing a podcast, I do believe. So WrestleMania 38 again, night 1 main event was better than night 2. What was it? And I'll give you a hint. He came out of retirement. This is only like
Flash
go on,
break.
Ollie.
Last break, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kevin.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, yeah. WrestleMania 39 went Hollywood again. Cody came up short, but again, night 1 made history. Why did it make history, and what was the main event? 39, night 1.
I know the main event. I don't know. I'm not sure if the history is off the top, but Usos and Zayn and KO.
Yeah.
Main
It
event.
was the first tag match to
First tag
tag team title match to main event WrestleMania.
Yeah,
See-
that you said lost.
First tag match
Okay,
was
I can stop
WrestleMania
now.
1. All right, guys, come on. This is last year, right?
I hate this.
Right, last year, and final question. All right, Cody finished his story, but what was the Intercontinental title match last year?
My God, what was the point on even mentioning Cody?
Are
Wasn't
you
it
all-
Sammy beating Gunther's reign?
Yeah.
Oh yeah!
Yay!
Brain
I got
Buster.
one. I'm on 5.
You're on fire. Brain Buster.
I'm just sorting out the scores there, and oh my God, I got to tell you, it's so close. It is so close.
Shut up. I
Jack's-
caught up, didn't I?
Gina, I just want to get your hopes up, right? But it's not. It's not you, all right?
I got 6, right?
It's not you. You got 6 that round. Yes, you did. With the previous round of 4, your ground score is 10.
Hey, I'm
Which
double
for,
digits.
hey, I know. That's good stuff. Jaxie, you actually beat Monty in that second round.
Stop it. Did I
Just
actually?
then.
I
Yeah.
suppose. I didn't even think I got that many right.
No, I suppose his help did help. You are on 17 right now.
Whoa.
Monty's on 10, so he needs 7 to win. And Monty, in that round, you scored 9 points. So you win with 19. It
I don't
ends
blame him.
19,
I don't blame
17,
him.
10. No,
That should
fair
have
play,
been the
Monty, though.
case. That
I'm
should have
not
been the case.
surprised.
Yeah. No, that should have been the case because
Monty was going to win this by a landslide.
Exactly.
Hey, man. Thank y'all for being nice about calling me a mark.
Well, Monty wins the quiz, and there you go. So, oh no, we've already done a SummerSlam one, haven't we? So I've got to wait till, I don't know. We'll work it out. I'll sort something out in my head. I'll tell you what we could do. We could do a Dubbing Our Podcast quiz about the 10-year history of all of us together. Stay tuned, everybody. All right, so we are getting close to WrestleMania, actually. I think the build-up's already started. The main event starts at midnight, and there is just one thing we haven't done, guys, and that is quite a big one. That is the predictions. At the moment, the Dubbing Art Prediction League, we've got the AEW, WWE, and Bonus Point. After Dynasty, Monty is on 12. I'm on 11. Jax is on 10. Gina on 8. With the AW, Monty on 2, Gina on 1, Jackson James yet to score. I mean, come on, Jax, put it out. And then WWE, though, Jax, you are in the lead with Monty at the moment. You're on 2, James, Gina on 1. So, Gina, you and I really need to get this for predictions. And another thing on top of it is I have never lost 2 nights of WrestleMania. So that is that as well. Is everybody ready then? Are we going to do it? We're going to give predictions.
Lego.
Right. Here we go. WrestleMania 41. We'll start with night 1. Obviously, that will be easier. And I'm going to just like projected match order. It might not be the match order, but hey, here we go. So the World Heavyweight Championship match, Gunther versus Jey Uso to start us off. And Jaxie, I'll come to you first. I'm sorry. Why don't you start us off here?
I'm going Jay on this. Back in Jay all the way. So let's see it.
Fair enough. Monty?
Yeah, I did entertain Gunther winning, and I was just, but my thought process about that is like, I mean, we know Gunther. Gunther's gonna be world champion again. He's gonna probably have another reign that's like 400 days, whether it's the world title or the WWE Universal title at some point. But the opportunity here to not only make a great WrestleMania moment, but also just to cap off the story. Because to me, what does it prove if Gunther wins for the 4th time over him? Which was, like I said, him pointing out that he's beaten him 3 times. He didn't do that for nothing. So what does he really gain from beating him once more time? And then Jey Uso's momentum that he's been building and worked hard for. Like what does Jey even where does Jey even go if he loses? He couldn't defend his brother the first time. He couldn't win in his brother's honor at WrestleMania. What do you even do with Jey? Like that you literally build somebody up just to destroy them for what? Because a few people on the internet don't like Jey? Nah, I think you go with Jey winning, and we all get to start off the night in a very good mood with Jey Uso yeeting with Las Vegas going crazy, and hopefully the match also delivers, and we start off the night the right way. And I think if it's anybody I trust to give me a compelling contest to start off a show like this for the world title, it would be Gunther. So I think the moment is right. The story is there. Crown the man.
Excellent. Gina?
Yeah, I've gone Jay.
Yeah. Yes, I have too. Have gone Jey Uso, but like I said, Monty would be a great way to start WrestleMania off. Up next, Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. Monty, this is more difficult than it actually looks.
It's way more difficult than it needs to be, man. Because, like I said, I'm of the understanding that we all know it's Gable. I feel like some type of mass shenanigans or unmasking has to happen. But we don't even know if Ray is gonna be here. It's really tough, man. It's way tougher than you would think. So because again, I feel like you can unmask Gable and Gable can win. But to me, with all this luchador focus, I mean, do we really need to give the gimmick of this phony luchador a victory at WrestleMania? I don't know, man. I don't know about that. But to be fair, Ray is probably closer to the end than he is at the beginning. So it's tough. This is real tough. Man, I'm really making this pick right now, so I'm really stalling a little bit here. To be honest, I did not decide.
Do you want me to go first? Because I kind of feel like I've got a bit of a.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, as you just recently mentioned, we haven't heard much, but we've heard that the match is still going on. But it did look like Ray got some sort of injury. So, for me, I've gone Ray for the win, but I don't think it's going to be Ray Mysterio. I think Ray Mysterio is going to sub in Ray Fenix. Because what better way to then give a bit more exposure to Ray Fenix when Penta's also got a match on the card? He's just turned up. So my theory is that Ray Fenix is going to tag in for Ray Mysterio, and Ray Fenix will pick up the win.
Nice.
I also agree with that, because if you think about it, when they were in the it wasn't a gauntlet, the Andre the Giant match, El Grande Americano made Ray Fenix lose out on that match, didn't he? He pulled him out of the ring.
Yeah.
So there is beef there between Ray Fenix and El Grande brewing. So if Ray Mysterio really is injured, Ray Fenix would be the more ideal. Sorry, Dragon Lee, because I do like you a lot and I do think that you've been showcased well. But I think with regards to that happening between Americano and Ray Fenix, I think that would make more sense for him to tag in Ray Fenix. So I've also gone Ray Mysterio with the thought that he's going to tag Ray Fenix in for the win.
Yeah, Monty.
Yeah. Again, I love the logic. It's the only thing that's, like I said, is just kicking me. It's like, but I think I'm gonna go with Ray Mysterio / Ray Phoenix. Not only the logic that you girls just brought up, but also if we think about what El Grande has actually done. I mean, we know it's Gable, but really when he puts the metal at some point, the whole metal in the mash trick, it gotta get. And I know it seems like it's so fast, but I don't think he's gonna win his Mania match doing the mash metal headbutt trick. So something's gonna happen. Maybe some mask shenanigans, and Gable gets exposed also during it or after it. But I'm going with the Ray Mysterio, Ray Phoenix, or whoever luchador side of it. We're gonna go with I'm gonna say authentic luchador wins.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a doink moment, as we saw WrestleMania 9, maybe 2 El Grandes or whatever it is. But yeah, I think you've got to go for the face in this one. I've lost to Mysterio too many times at WrestleMania to go against him. World Tag Team Championship match, the War Raiders versus the New Day. Gina, this is very interesting setup, actually.
Yeah, it is really interesting. I like the War Raiders. I think they've done good with having the belts, but I do feel like New Day need this win to cement their heel turn. As we kind of mentioned earlier, that their heel turn's not necessarily been the best of runs. It was in the beginning, but after, Kofi's mum rejected them and that, the kind of hype went down a little bit. So for me, in order to like solidify this heel turn for New Day, I truly feel like they need to win the belts here. So sorry, War Raiders, I'm gonna go with the New Day.
Yeah, good pick. I'm going to go New Day as well. Jaxie?
I too have gone New Day.
Yeah. Monty?
Yep, I'm going New Day. Also, I think everything's spot on there. I did tell you, James, before the show though. My only fear is some shenanigans, just like last year with Philadelphia with the Eagles coming out. Please, I know they're the War Raiders and the Las Vegas Raiders, the football team that does exist, but please don't do it. Even if you run Big E out with them, I don't want it to happen. All right, please, just let the New Day get this moment because I don't need another stupid finish to get mad over. But I'm 100% on the bandwagon of the New Day though. They need it. I love the War Raiders, but the fans don't seem to really care as good as their matches are. So I think they're going to go out there and have a pretty good match, and the New Day will probably cheat the win.
Yeah, without a doubt. I'm gonna go, like I said, I'm gonna go New Day. Don't repeat myself. Jay Cargill versus Naomi. This is a very interesting matchup. I love the fact we don't need a championship on the line when it means so much, and I really do like Naomi. That the kind of really got into the heel persona and what she's done best. And again, Jade has lost on the build up to WrestleMania, but will she lose at WrestleMania? I just can't see it. So I've gone Jade here. I know it's pretty an easy one to pick, but hey, that's what I'm gonna do. Jaxie?
Who did you
Yeah,
say?
I
Jade?
mean, this was really difficult. And I'm actually gonna go with Naomi on this, and I think like it's really because of like the work that she's doing at the moment. Like this is her best stuff, and I don't think that this will actually affect Jade too badly with a loss. I do see like there being potential for this to, kind of go further, especially with the fact that they are still not done with Bianca, and Bianca still needs to deal with this mess as well once she's done her thing with her title. So there's going to still be follow up from this, and I can't help but feel like right now Naomi picking up this win would be much more beneficial than Jade. So I've got Naomi on this.
You got Naomi. Monty?
Yeah, I think what I kind of wrote down by this was preference is a little bit different than what I think is going to happen, and that's kind of where I've kind of landed on it. I got to go with Jade. It's just hard for me to believe. If you really think about what the angle is, it's still at its heart a revenge story. As many great points as Naomi has made, and as much as we love what she's doing, and I do love what she's doing, it still comes from a place of jealousy and a paranoia. And to me, Jade was gone for so long. It's hard for me to believe somebody as dominant as her is going to lose this match, especially if it's one on one. Now, can Naomi probably, cheat? And can you say that? Sure. But honestly, they can keep this going even if Naomi loses because of how good her character work has been and how unhinged she seemed to be coming off as. And I don't really think I think it's so many layers to the story still can be pulled back whether Naomi wins or loses. To be honest, but I'm with you. It's hard to pick against Naomi because of how good she's been doing. But it's just to me, my heart says Naomi, but my brain tells me don't pick against Jade here. So I'm gonna go with Jade.
Gina?
Yeah, this has definitely been one of the more tougher ones, because I can see both women needing the win, and both women not really wanting to take that L. I think they're both going to put on a great match because they have great chemistry together. Oh, it sucks because there's a part of me that thinks that the story is still going to continue regardless as to who wins here, because I do have a feeling that Bianca might be going a heel route soon, and then there's going to be some beef brewing between her and Jade, continuing it. So part of me feels like I need to go Naomi here. I need to give my girl like, the kudos for building her character up to where it's gone. And in my eyes, I feel like she should get this win. I'm gonna originally stick with that. Yeah, I'm going with Naomi. It's gonna be difficult though because I can see both of them getting this win.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is why it's tough. Like you said, it's not out of the realms of possibility, Naomi getting a win to kind of prolong the feud. That makes sense. Up next, United States Championship, LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. Jaxie?
Yeah, sorry, LA Knight. Jacob Fatu's got to pick up the win here. Like he's so hot right now. Like you can't do like with regards to like sort of the slight dip that the bloodline has become. You need to be pushing on Jacob Fatu. I see him picking up the win here and probably absolutely demolishing LA Knight.
Without a doubt. Monty?
If this, the only way I can see LA Knight winning is if we get like some jealous solo involvement. But my only thing is about that is I think Triple H is such a slow burn type of guy. He's not gonna let make Solo be overtly jealous quite yet. But I think the better story would be Jacob, uh, come overcoming LA Knight, becoming the champion, and then the power dynamics of their little their I don't like you said I don't really know if they still like can be considered bloodline 2.0 or whatever, but the dynamics is going to be questioned. Then Solo is going to jealousy is going to arise, and then we eventually get that feud of Solo versus Jacob. At least that's what it seems that we will be going. But I don't see LA Knight coming out of here. I think this could go like I said, two ways. Honestly, Jacob and LA Knight have a great, competitive match, and Jacob is just too much, or Jacob absolutely kills him.
Yeah, without doubt. Gina?
Yeah, I've gone Jacob.
Gone for two. I'm looking at you're doing it. A few comments now on the live chat and stuff like this as well. Should say Johnny T early went for Gunther over Jey Uso. I mean, whoever floats your boat, mate. And also Nick Laguna says LA Knight to definitely win. Well, not according to us, but hey, who knows? This is WrestleMania.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. He might be a massive LA Knight fan. Who knows? But like I said, thanks for your like I said, the comments and the participation. We love to hear it. WWE Women's Championship next. I will say, anybody who wants to go for Charlotte in this one, avoid Jaxie, please. It's Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. Monty, I'll go to you because you'll give us an unbiased opinion.
The crazy thing is, before it got so messy, I actually was definitely entertaining Charlotte walking out. And then once everything, and once you start getting personal and all of that, I do think it added a sense of heat. Like, people are now looking forward to see what happens. But it's really tough, in my opinion, to see. But I still honestly can see this going both ways. Like, you can see Tiffany, making a name for herself and overcoming and staying champion. But I also can see Charlotte winning the title, and because Tiffany is so young and so green, she can still lose this belt and overcome it, and they can tell another story later. And it really makes me wonder, like, before things kind of went off the rails with Charlotte's face turn, was the plan Charlotte to win the title back, and but she would be loved by the people instead of turned on. I don't know. It's really tough. It's really hard to really guess where we were going, because I don't know if they actually think Tiffany is ready to dethrone Charlotte. So it's tough, man. It's really tough. But the way things have went recently, I think I don't like doing this. I hate betting against Charlotte because it's Charlotte. But honestly, I feel like they might just have to stick with Tiffany, and I'm gonna go ahead and go with Tiffany here. But if Charlotte wins, color me not surprised.
Gina, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm going Tiffany. I think she's not had the belt long enough to really cement her run as a women's champion. So I feel like Tiffany needs to get this win. It will also show like she's able to overcome, one of the biggest threats in the women's division, which is Charlotte.
Jaxie, do I need to ask you?
No, going for Tiffany.
So I am the only one here going for Charlotte then. All right, fair enough. I'm going to go Charlotte. Monty,
Of
you
course,
said.
you have to just be different.
No.
You're just
You
different.
don't back Charlotte.
You don't go against Charlotte.
Don't go against Charlotte at WrestleMania. Even Tiffany Stratton said in an interview, with all this going on, she said it probably makes more sense Charlotte beating her. So then, the fans don't get on her about getting given everything and, being the immortal champion. And we know Charlotte's going to win the titles at some point.
Man.
Charlotte knows she's going to win the title at some point. Come on. Yeah, you sound like Triple H now, Gina.
Yeah, but I'm one of those fans. And I want fucking Tiffany to beat Charlotte.
Well,
Tiffany, do not let Charlotte talk about your man like that and then win. That's embarrassing.
You brought up her divorce.
Yeah, Ludwig Kaiser comes out
Everybody
across
forget
Tiff.
that. 0-3,
That's what we want.
3 divorces.
Yeah.
People were chanting 0-3 at this lady about her personal life. Screw the DM. Who gives a crap? Nobody even knows that really happened.
Yeah.
No one believes that really happened.
Right. No one even knows or believes or what. Nobody really cares. But bringing up my divorce, to be honest, Charlotte should probably kill her. But I'm going with Tiffany because again, I just don't. It's hard. I'm conflicted, James. I would be on your side, but I chose Tiffany.
Well, what I'm saying, it looks like 60-40 Charlotte to Tiff. But again, like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if Stratton does walk out. But I'm going to go Charlotte. And then the main event tonight, Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Gina, what do you reckon is going to happen in this main event?
Oh, this main event is giving me such a headache. because the initial thought is to go for Punk because he's wanted this WrestleMania main spot for years and never got it, and this is it for him. You know, he needs that win to be like, I got my main spot and I won. But all the signs are pointing to Seth getting this win, including Seth's final promo and when he went up to Paul and said, "Now you owe me a favor." I don't think Paul is going to necessarily help Seth win, but in a way, part of me feels like Paul might go, "Fuck you both. I'm so sick of the stress you've put me under. I'm going to back Seth because he's the future of this company. You two aren't, like I could see that happening. So even though my brain is really telling me to choose Punk, I think Seth's going to get this win. So I've gone Seth.
You've gone Seth. Wow. Jaxie?
Yeah, I just think there's been so much so many drops. The only way to really warrant this to be the main event of WrestleMania for me is to see Paul Heyman actually choose Seth, and Seth pick up this win. So I'm going down that route. I'm going with Seth.
Seth as well, man. Monty?
They've been making it so obvious, man. That's the only thing that make me be like literally self standing tall, literally self saying, "Oh, now you owe me a favor." I think Paul Heyman was even sitting by self or close to self in the damn Hall of Fame. It's just like, really, like, are you not even gonna try to surprise us? So that's what making me be like, oh man. But I'm definitely thinking about it. Like, it makes sense. Uh, especially when you think about all that self-sacrifice, him getting a big win here makes sense. Everything he's been through. But I honestly, I started off this thing saying no way Roman winning, and then somehow out of nowhere I'm like, I don't know if Punk winning now at all. I don't think Punk winning now, and I'm like, the only reason why it made me be like, what if because they've been leaning so far for itself, that means Roman is still gonna win? Like Paul is gonna screw his friend. There, at the end of the day, Paul is gonna be involved. Paul is gonna screw somebody. He is a renowned, turncoat. So I mean, you know what I mean? Like he's
Yeah.
turned on everybody at one point in time. So he's definitely going to do it. The thing is, will it be for self or will he just turn on Punk? I don't know, man. I really don't know. I feel like the self answer at this point is been kind of feels safe, and I don't know why. Uh, James, who you picking?
If I pick, it might sway your opinion, but I'll let you know because I already made my choice. And
Go ahead. You sure? I'm not.
I'm 100% sure. I thought, and what I'm surprised about is that I was more CM Punk than Seth Rollins. Because again, I know we're talking about Seth with a swerve, but what you got to remember is that Roman's going to go away after Mania, and it's going to
Mm-hmm.
continue the Seth and Punk storyline, isn't it? My main thing for me is I just cut, like I said with Charlotte, I cannot bet against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I cannot see him lose two
All right.
main events in a row. It's just
And,
I just can't. Seth's a great idea, the Punk, but I can't bet against Roman, so I've gone Roman in this one.
and guess what? You know what else? You know what else that make me say that too? Roman said in an interview, he has already pointed it out. He said it ain't no more tribal chief if Paul Heyman is not by his side. He said that on that doc that everybody wanted to watch about Roman. Roman said that word for word. So unless you're telling me Roman is gonna come back as something else, which I doubt, I really don't think we see get a new
Jesus
character from Roman.
Christ, this is stressing me out.
I'm going with Roman Reigns. Like you said, one's up. Paul is gonna screw Punk in a nice dramatic teary eyed way. We're gonna thank Self is the one he's doing it for. And even if it is, Roman still is gonna find a way, in my opinion,
Yeah.
to win. And I don't know if he stacks them
Oh, I hate
again,
this. Now
but
I'm
I'm
doubting my decision.
I can't. I'm with you, Jay. Like that's my point. It's like they've teased it so hard for Self, and I'm like, but how can we just go against Roman that fast? It's like this dude was basically undefeated for 4 years, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as I'm saying.
it took so much help just to beat him last year. So yeah, no. To me, I think Roman is actually the play here. And if we wrong and they go the opposite route, I'm sure it'll still be compelling television with Punk and Heyman and Punk and Rollins. That's fine. But I don't know, man. I'm not betting against us losing the Tribal Chief or that Roman will lose. So yeah, I'm on your side, Jim. You didn't sway me. That's where I wanted to go. Truly, it's just the self stuff is where everybody's going.
Keep telling yourself
Yeah.
that, Monty.
We're going around.
All right. So that is night 1 then. We'll move on to WrestleMania night 2, match card and projected order. We'll start off with the Women's World Championship triple threat match. Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley. And again, this is not an easy one. So Jackson, you can start us off.
The triple threat. Yeah.
Yep, the women's. Yeah.
Okay. This was a really hard one as well, but I gotta go with Io to retain because she's been done dirty this whole time, you know, and there's just a lot more like distraction for the other two, that they've really not taken her seriously. So she needs to come and kick their asses. So I'm going to Io to retain.
Monty.
Yeah. I wanted to entertain Bianca. I think Bianca winning would be cool, especially in a heel route. You know, I can see that. But Bianca has been very resistant so far. She hasn't teased one bit that she's gonna change who she is so far. And I don't know. I just don't know. Like if you can guarantee me some type of involvement from something else, maybe. But yeah, I just feel like they've done a great job of making Io look like an afterthought, and it's like Io is not anything but an afterthought. So all I know is that Rhea can't walk out of here as champion to me. That would be I would be repulsed, and I hate to use that because I love Rhea, but it's just that would be very stupid if you ask me. So I'm gonna go with Io. I think she's been last woman standing just to kind of throw us off. But the story says she is an afterthought, and I think what better way than to have one of them, maybe even Rhea, about to win it, and then she comes out of nowhere into the frame with a moonsault and pins and stage champion. So I'm gonna stick with that. That's the safest bet that I can take, even though it's always hard to bet against Rhea and Bianca for that matter.
Yeah. Gina, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I said this earlier myself that Io has just been put aside. Like none of them have really looked at her like she's a formidable opponent. They've just been beefing with each other.
Have you given yours?
Sorry?
Have you given your prediction for this
She's
yet?
just about to. Someone got interrupted her. Yeah, someone interrupted her.
Sorry, I couldn't hear anything, so I just didn't know if she...
Yeah, no, as I was saying, I feel like she's been cast aside. Bianca and Rhea have just solely been focused on each other, and it's a bit ignorant of them. So I think that's what's gonna cost them this match is ignorance, because they've just literally not even looked at Io like she's a threat to them, even though she's actually the current champ, and I think she's gonna retain. So I've actually gone with Io to retain too.
We have had a comment from let me get this right. Fatima Muramura said Bianca Belair heel turn at WrestleMania 41, which again is interesting, but I don't think she needs a heel turn. And I understand what everybody's saying about Io. Yeah, I completely understand it, and she will have a chance to shine, but I can't go against Bianca Belair. The streak is still alive. I think if she wins this year, she'll go 5-0, and I think that's a good thing that you can build on, especially if we're going to get maybe Cargill and Belair at next year's WrestleMania as well. So I'm going to go Bianca Belair for new women's champion. Up next, Randy Orton versus, well, we don't know. I don't know if, do you want to give a bonus point for guessing, or should we just have a little conversation between ourselves who we think it's going to be?
I don't think it's going to matter. I think it will be a squash match. The match card is already long as it is. And because there's been no build up for this match, I see it being someone's like Austin Theory or Grayson Waller. And it will be just a 3-minute simple match, something like that. I'm sorry, but that's what I see.
What a letdown that would be. Jeez.
I reckon something like Solo. Monty, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was thinking that. I'm like, Solo might come out there and then like something happen, like he get in a brawl. I don't know with who though, to be honest. And I'm telling you, I'm not saying it's gonna happen. This is what I want to happen. So since I don't really care about the bonus point, even if I may need it, I'm gonna be honest. Nick Aldis needs to fight Randy Orton. I don't care. I like Nick Aldis as a wrestler. It'd be a nice way to give a good guy a WrestleMania moment. It don't have to go that long. He can eat the RKO like I expect whoever it is they put out there to do. And that's what I think they should do. It just makes sense. He's been RKO a couple times. They stumbled into a decent story there, if you ask me. So why not? Especially if he's in shape and willing to do it. A lot of people may not even know Nick Aldis wrestle, so it'd be a nice little introduction. People might Google his NWA run or whatever. So that's me. Not probably. Do I think it's gonna happen? Probably not. But it'd be fun for me. Wouldn't it be a nice moment, Jay? Come on, he's
I think it would be great. I would be great. And again, it would since the RKO's and the fine and all that lot maybe pay off a little bit and give Aldis the matchup. Jaxie thinks Theory. I think Solo or someone like that. Gina.
I honestly don't know. I could not tell you who they're going
Come
to put against.
on, take a guess. Go on, bonus. This is a bonus point. We know how important they are.
Sheamus, because he needs more
Oh,
screen time, even though he
Love
may
it.
leave. I'm going
That
to
would be
Sheamus
a
or
banger.
Andrade.
yeah.
That would be a banger.
They can only have
Yeah,
one. You take
Sheamus or
Sheamus.
Andrade. One of those two I'll go with.
Sheamus. There is one match on the card that I've really not spoken about because I really don't care for it. Don't get me wrong, I love AJ Styles, but I could give a fuck about Logan Paul. And I just think it's a shame that Logan Paul is going to go over someone like AJ Styles at WrestleMania, but it's not the first time AJ's had to work with someone, I suppose, maybe not on his level. Jaxie, what about you?
Yeah, I don't care for this match. This match is kind of like night two's version of the sort of Rey Mysterio El Grande match that really could have been on the go home show like SmackDown is before, or like the Monday Night Raw after. It really didn't need to be on this match card. But sadly, I really hate to even choose him, but this has got to surely be a win for Logan Paul, right? He's been like on a losing streak constantly. So yeah, I just see him winning, sadly.
Yeah. Oh shit! Can I just say quickly as well? Shazza69 thinks Randy's opponent's going to be Batista, and it might be. Who knows? Batista might come out and
How cool would
look,
that be,
You know what?
though?
That could be really fun. Really wouldn't mind that. I like that idea.
yeah,
Can
yeah,
they
it's nice.
afford them? Because if I'm Dave, they would have to pay me a lot to
Oh,
come
for
back.
sure, for sure.
The movies I'm doing.
Um, so Monty, Paul, or AJ?
Did you pick Logan, Jay?
I picked Logan. Yes.
Okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, man. I honestly think, unfortunately, I think the scariest part for me is that when I think about it, when so far Logan has a history a little bit, maybe it's just Ricochet, but when I thought about AJ doing this, I'm like, geez, last person I remember doing like some major stuff with him was not in the company. Like 6 months later. So I hope this don't mean AJ will be gone, even though to be fair, he's probably going closer to retiring than he isn't. So I don't know, man. I can't, I'm not picking against Logan Paul here, but if AJ wins, we all will be happy. I mean, come on now, why not? But I think the narrative that like Cross is trying to get like Cross, that's the sad part about it. If the best part of your story is a person that's not even involved in the match, like to me, the stuff Karrion Cross has been doing on his social media, and then the even the involvement with the AJ match, that shit has been better than whatever Logan Paul and AJ got going. So yeah, man, I'm gonna go with Logan Paul because, like you said, he's pretty much everybody assumes he's gonna lose almost. He's gonna do something cool and then lose. I think you have to have him do it brass knuckles or something most likely, and then maybe we get a legit heel turn from AJ or like a legit mean streak from AJ going forward because of this. If he's still involved in plans going forward, we'll see. But I love you, AJ. I hate that you probably got to get pinned by this man.
Gina.
Yeah, I've gone Logan.
Yeah, Logan. Women's title matchup: Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bailey and Lyra Valkyria. Gina, why don't you start us off with this one?
Yeah, I think you already know my views on this match. I didn't like the fact that Lyra and Bailey got tagged together literally a week after they just had a battle for the belt themselves. And then ran through all the women's tag teams who have been tag teams much longer than these two and just ran through them like they were nothing. For me, I don't think that Lyra needs two belts with having the tag belts as well as her IC championship. So I've gone Liv and Raquel to retain. Sorry, I think Liv and Raquel bring more prestige to the tag belts at the moment, and they need elevating again. The women's tag division has suffered, and if they want them to look strong coming out of WrestleMania and try and create a good year of women's tag team, it needs to start off with Liv and Raquel from WrestleMania. So yeah, I'm going for them to retain.
Yeah, and it's weird that they, like I said, we're not getting any women's singles championships, you know, like the US or the Intercontinental. But what I find weird, Jackson, I don't know about you with this matchup, it feels like it's almost like a present for Liv because she has been so good and maybe does deserve a WrestleMania match, even if we know which way the result is going to go.
Yeah, I mean, again, though, can we just point out the fact that we mentioned about, Lyra and Bailey, like, absolutely burying, like, all of these sort of legit tag champions, but we've neglected, like, the idea of, you could have just brought, like, the big gauntlet match, like, or like, a big fatal four-way tag match that, like, we're seeing in NXT or whatever, to the tag division with real legit tag teams. Do you know what I mean? So again, this match feels like a really pointless one, in my opinion. But in terms of who the opponents are, like, this makes no sense. For Liv, I get what you mean. Yeah, like, she's done so much, so she does warrant having a match on at WrestleMania, being a champion. I just would have gone about this a complete different way and done 4 legitimate tag teams in a fatal 4-way tag match. That would have made for a much more exciting match than what they've really roughly put together.
Yeah.
So yeah, my obvious choice is Liv and Raquel to retain.
Yeah, without doubt. Monty?
And sorry, before Monty
sorry.
gives his, I forgot to add in from when I was giving mine. For how long they've built up WrestleMania, and we've said it a couple of times this pod now that they've built WrestleMania up way too long. It should have happened already. They've just dragged stuff out. You could have brought back Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross becoming a tag team and had them in this match, and that would have given Alexa Bliss's return in Royal Rumble something to say about it. That would have given Nikki Cross, who debuted with the Wyatt Six, who we haven't seen in weeks or months, some relevancy. You could have put those two back together and had this crazy ass team scaring the shit out of Liv and Raquel for the past 2-3 weeks, and made that a more of a bigger match. And then put Bailey versus Lyra for the IC belt on there. Again, they could have done that, and it's just really frustrating that they didn't, with the amount of time they've had to build up the road to WrestleMania. So sorry, Monty, I just wanted to add that in.
Well, excellent point.
Yeah, no, good point. I mean, I just think them and Sami Zayn must be on like a extended vacation right now. Like, just so, hey, you guys, hey, just don't even come to work for the next 6 weeks or so. We good. Yeah, we'll see y'all after Mania. That's what it feels like anyway. I mean, I know both. I know, or Uncle Howdy had an injury, so I don't know why they're. I hate that one injury sidelined the whole faction, but yeah, I know that's why basically the Y6 basically went away, but yeah, no, it's definitely a missed opportunity. I don't know why they told Alexa to go home, or and then like I said for Sami Zayn, I guess we can at least say that no holds barred match was so crazy that wrote him off. But at the same time, Sammy would have been a valuable person for Jay to talk to build up Gunther feud to me a little bit, something like that. So I still see use for these people. But anyway, uh, not to drag out. Obviously, I think Raquel and Liv winning. I think you guys hit it on the money. This is more so about celebrating the work Liv has put in, giving her a moment here. And I do think though that Lyra, by the way, you let her wrestle, let her like Bailey, somebody like Bailey too. When the bell rings, she's amazing. So I think this match might be a little bit better than we thinking, but like at least from a wrestling standpoint. But yeah, the result is pretty much settled.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised Bailey lays out Lyra
Yes,
afterwards
that
as
too.
well.
One of them probably gonna turn on each other. I probably
Exactly.
Bayley.
Liv and Raquel for me as well. Up next, Intercontinental Championship, Fatal 4-Way, Bron Breakker versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. This is difficult to guess or even predict, as we were. So, Jaxie, what are you thinking about this? Because I've got a theory, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, this one was a really hard one to call, if I'm honest. I'm kind of going with a bit of an emotional choice in terms of I feel like this is going to be a title change. I feel like it will be the Judgment Day that picks it up, but I'm really gonna go with Finn Balor to pick up the win on this one.
Wow.
I'm taking a chance with this one and thinking that we've seen some sort of disarray within the Judgment Day where we've got like sort of like a scheming Liv trying to like phase out Finn and things like that. And I'm wondering whether or not like he picks up a win here and Judgment Day will immediately turn on him. So I'm going out on a limb here and I'm going Finn for this because I also think I'm going with an emotional choice on this as well because I think that Finn deserves a title run. Again, I think we've brought this up on quite a few different podcasts, but Finn really has not had another shot at even the is it the Universal belt, and he was the first ever title winner but had to vacate it immediately. I just think he deserves like some sort of title and a push or something. So I'm going out on a limb here and I'm going with Finn.
Yeah, excellent choice. Monty?
Yeah, I'm so happy you said that because like it feels so obvious that to go with like a Dom. And I've been seeing like a lot of that. Like I think he might even be. I know people some. Which by the way, these people got more money than me. You betting on these wrestling results? I can't bet on this. Anyway, the betting odds are saying Dom. The betting odds are saying Dom's gonna win, and I'm just like, okay, I can see it. And maybe you could put off the Finn Balor obvious because like we already see it. And how? By the way, that's another thing. How long are we have Judgment Day in general as a group has had internal beef? Think about it. Even when Priest and Bria was there, internal beef, and then ever since then with Finn, it's just to me something's got to give. Could that be the thing that make Finn go over the edge? Dom winning the championship, I can see that, but I don't know if they want to make Dom a babyface. I just think he's so like yes, I like watching Dom. I get excited when I see Dom on my screen because I know it's either going to be kind of funny or whatever. I like his character, so I can see him going face. But do we actually see him? Actually, do he have do he have legs as a babyface? And then like how much and how does that going to come into play with Liv, who I think is coming to her own as a heel? To me, I think Finn is where you go, and I know it. At first I was like, man, I know Finn has got a horrible record, right? I think he's like 1-3 at WrestleMania. He's not done well at all, and I think also an old report they said it's going to be a push for Finn Balor. We ain't seen none of that, so hopefully this is actually the start of that push for Finn Balor. I still love Finn Balor. I think he has something to bring to the table. So I think he's gonna find a way. Maybe Dom will hit a strong splash, have it won, and then he throw him out of the ring and steal it. I don't know, but I think Finn Balor is gonna find a way to scheme his way to win. Even though could Braun Breaker just kill everybody? You definitely got to account for that. Like that's also a possibility. But I think Braun has done what he needs to do as the IC champion, and I would like to see him move up. Chase the world title or do other things too. So yeah, I think Finn is where I'm going, but Dom winning, I can see. I don't necessarily see Penta getting it yet, even though I wouldn't be mad at it.
Gina?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with both of the others. I was toying between Dominic and Finn, but I'm kind of thinking out of the two, for me, who deserves it more in my eyes, I feel Finn is. So for me, I'm going with my heart and I'm going with Finn.
My issue is I've got a few set of rules, that I go with predictions. And Molly knows exactly what I'm going to say. And it's just, I can't see an Intercontinental title changing in a multi-man matchup. I'm sorry. Last year we had the crowning moment of Zayn and Gunther. I think we're going to have that with Penta against Braun. I think this will be the end of Judgment Day as we know it for Finn and Dom, and they can carry on whoever's a face and whoever's a heel. But I am going to go Braun Breaker to retain the Intercontinental Championship. I know I might be wrong, but fuck it. It's a fun at the fair, isn't it?
He can literally spear Dominic to hell and it'll be over. So
the thing is that Dom's got it won. Argument with Balor, spear, like you said, job done.
Yeah.
Like that. I am worried that only, well, I don't want to ruin my last prediction, but I'm also looking at the night title changes as well and seeing, is that enough for a WrestleMania to happen? I've got the women's title changing hands, so I'm all right. Sin City Street Fight next, the true main event of WrestleMania, everybody. Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. I'll go first. Drew McIntyre to win. And not just because I'm biased, not because that, but again, if you want to build challenges up for the WWE Championship after WrestleMania, then Drew McIntyre needs a strong win here to move himself along. I just wish he'd kept the eye patch and then did the reveal at Mania. That's the only thing that panics me a little bit, but I'm going to go Drew. Gina, what about you?
I have also gone Drew. Can I just say, I actually feel like this match is going to be a banger of a match and probably one of the best matches of the night. I don't know why. I just have a feeling that these two are just going to go all out and I'm really not going to be disappointed. Ultimately, I've gone for Drew for the win, but I think it's going to be a banger of a match between them both.
Without doubt. Monty?
You know what? See, do you know what gave me the idea that like Priest could win? It's when Drew did that stuff. He took his necklace after he gave him the future shot. And I was like, Drew, you have not learned about taking stuff from the people you beat up.
Taking trinkets.
Like,
exactly. Yeah.
I'm doing that. So I was worried, but then I thought about it and I was like, you know what? They made he did good the next time because he didn't make a big deal about taking that necklace. They have not made a big deal about like the bracelet. It's not really a part of the story here with Priest, I don't think. So to me, that lends me to believe that Drew is going to win. Not only, like you mentioned, James, he's a great contender for the next champion, whether it's Jay or however you want to do it. Eventually, Drew is always a great contender. But also, I just think, honestly, based on where they are right now, I love Priest, but based on the reactions and just his overall, what they've had him doing since being world champion, he's kind of on the downturn. And I think Drew has been either constant or very damn good. So I just think that just kind of like Lil, Drew deserves, in my opinion, to be rewarded. And also, he may have won last year at WrestleMania, but last time I checked, he also got embarrassed at last year's WrestleMania. So I've seen people saying Self deserved to win because of all the sacrifices. What about everything Drew has done over the last year? So Drew definitely, in my opinion, deserves to win. It's gonna be brutal. It's a street fight. So I can't wait to see exactly how far they decide to go with the stipulation, but it's gonna be great though. Because if you remember, James, last man standing, Priest, Finn Balor, Priest is great in that element, and like I think Drew can bring the fight too, obviously. So this is gonna be a really good one that I don't know if it's getting the hype it might deserve. I think Drew is gonna get revenge for what happened at last year's WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think Gina makes, like I said, the excellent point there. That this feels like it could potentially steal the show as well. Jaxie, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I have to agree with both what Monty and Gina and yourself have said. I think this is one of the most underrated matches on the match card, and I think this is going to be one of the most surprising matches in terms of how good it actually is going to be. And I do see Drew picking up a win here. He's doing excellent work right now, and I don't think that this will hurt Damian taking a loss here. But with the work that Drew's doing right now, like this really does feel like his time. And as you said, he could be a really strong contender for like the next challenger on either title. So going forward, I feel like they really need to like push this angle with him. So what better way than for him to pick up a win at WrestleMania?
The one thing I find interesting about this match and the match we're just about to talk about as well is how the crowd is going to react, because I think Damian Priest, we can all admit, maybe gone a little bit bland since moving to SmackDown babyface. And I think with the crowd that are there for Drew and the reactions we have heard, that maybe it might be a pro-Drew crowd. But again, that's Priest's job and Drew's job actually to kind of change it around if they want to. Because again, who knows? We talked about WrestleMania 13 earlier. Might have a double turn, you know? Might have Drew as a face and Priest as a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Anyway, Sickly Sweet has said Damien Priest to win. I mean, you're wrong, but we appreciate your effort. Cody Rhodes, John Cena, WWE Championship, maybe the most difficult match to predict. So, Monty, I'll start with you, my friend.
Yeah, it's tough, man, because I can see this going both ways. I said after the heel turn that you made a main event where both sides, in my opinion, are good results. Cody overcoming and doing and beating him in his last Mania, awesome stuff. Cena winning, again, we don't know what's going to happen after that, but would be awesome. And I just have to say though, Cena said something that really made me be like, I don't know if I should. I want to pick him. Maybe I should pick against him just off the strength because he's talking about taking the championship away. He's talking about leaving and all of that. And I'm just like, didn't we already go through this with like this stop and start part-time champion stuff? But I really feel like it might be a waste of one of the most viral and greatest heel turns ever if you have John Cena not be able to win the title here and go on a nice 6 or 7, however many months you have left, run, and then have Cody possibly or some other star you want to make, take out Cena, and that be the last. That's where he goes out. I don't know. It's really tough. I'm gonna go with John Cena because I just feel like the heel turn in that moment was so special, and not only has Cody been getting the upper hand this entire time, I just think we're obviously going to get some fight. I hope we get some involvement of final boss and all of that because then it really feels like it was for nothing if we just get kind of like a straight up match. I expect shenanigans. John Cena is definitely going to cheat. He might dip kick him. He's going to poke him in the eye. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like, we're going to see some stuff that we might not really be used to seeing from Cena. But I do think as strong as Cody Rhodes is, him losing here will not hurt him at all. And if he's screwed again, the people are most likely only going to support him more. And I think a more compelling arc for Cody would be him to fall here and see what happens. Because Cena pretty much told you basically at some point in this match, Cody's going to have a chance to hit him with some brass knuckles or whatever. He's going to have a chance to make a decision. And we know Cody. Cody is not. Will Cody cheat and just beat him? And like, what will he do that, or will Cody do like he's been doing this entire time, sticking to who he is, try to beat him the right way, and end up falling because of it? I don't know, but I think Cena walking out is probably the right way to go here, or at least maybe because it's so unpredictable what could happen next. I want to see what they decide to do with it because as much as I love Cody's run, it would be nice because, like I said, we just had a world champion for 4 years. So in my opinion, having Cody lose here, I think, and then have him build himself back up in a way to get back to Cena is the compelling way to do it. But hey, I don't know. I'm going with Cena, but if you guys can give me any reason to go for Cody, I definitely would understand because it's one of those type of main events to me.
Yeah, I mean, this is why it gets so difficult, isn't it? And again, like I said, with the Cena title reign and everything like that, it builds compassion for Cody, and there's a story there, of course, with the final boss. I mean, Jaxie, it's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, this was a really tough one to call, to be honest, because I could see things going either way, just as Monty has rightly pointed out, like some really valid points. Ultimately, I am going with Cena for the win here because it just kind of feels like less of a massive payoff if for Cena if this is his final year. If you're gonna do it, then like execute it and do it, like go for it fully. So we'll see what's to come, but I'm going with Cena on this one.
And another thing as well, Gina, before you give your prediction, is that Cody has laid out Cena in every kind of face-to-face that they've had before WrestleMania.
Yeah, exactly. And usually it's kind of an even balance so that it leaves you with that question to think, oh, will he get this? Will Cena get the win for his last final belt run, or will Cody overcome Cena in this stint? But because Cody has kind of been over in every single promo and always come out on top throughout the end of it, it's kind of screaming that John will be getting the win here in a way, because if anything, if Cody kind of gets the win, it's going to be a bit of lackluster. It's going to be like, well, John, you had no leg to stand on because you were losing every week in terms of just the promos and getting laid out by Cody, you know? So I have also gone John because I feel he needs this win following this heel turn. His heel turn is going to be for nothing if he doesn't get this win over Cody, you know? I'm not saying he has to have the belt for the whole year, but I do feel like he needs this win to solidify where he's taken his character, because at the end of the day, this is his final year. If he's going to go out as a heel, he needs to know he put in everything, you know? So yeah, John, I've gone with.
My feeling is John Cena is the favourite to win this matchup. But again, would he win and then just disappear with the championship until SummerSlam or something like this? Is there a bigger story to play? And I think there is. I think Cody, when Triple H was talking about Cody Rhodes and having a game plan, I truly believe it's like a 5-year plan, you know, encompassing the final boss and everything else in between. I think what Cody's got in the title reign coming up with Randy Orton could potentially turn him the night after WrestleMania. And then we can have that feud leading up towards SummerSlam. We talked about Drew McIntyre and others as well. And who's to say John Cena, you know, as the heel comes up short and then the final boss beats up John to build up to a last match between the two of them on Cena's last appearance or wherever else it is. I can't believe I'm going to say this. And Cody has been on top the majority of this, but I'm going to go Cody Rhodes. Fuck it. Cody Rhodes is going to retain the championship. And what bigger stamp of approval to say that you are the new guy then than the passing of the torch from John to Cody in Cena's last WrestleMania. Fuck it, I'm going to do it. Come on, that's it. Right, so are we all happy about predictions, everybody? Because I'm fucking not.
Not really. I'm quite apprehensive, but also
I
exhausted
doubt
from it.
everything.
Yeah.
I see Bianca winning, Naomi winning. Everything I said I'm not going is going to happen now.
God. Well, we had fun though, and I'll tell you what, it's been good because we haven't felt like we haven't done like a proper live show in a while, and this has definitely been one we have covered everything, and that is it. Don't forget across all social media at the WNR Podcast. I'm at the WNR Pod James. You can find the entire WNR team on the banner, also now on Blue Sky, WNR Podcast, and Reddit. Monty, do you want to plug your stuff?
Yeah, at my Monty Pod on X or on Twitter. That's where you see my tweets. You'll see me usually cursing somebody out or doing something, talking about trying to repost wrestling, but I'm gonna be honest with you, my tweets go everywhere at this point. So follow me there. Any of my other projects will be posted there first, and I'm working on other stuff too. But we will all find out when I can actually be able to release stuff. So at my Monty Pod on Twitter.
No problems. And Jaxie?
Yeah, you can find me across Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube at Jaxie Scarlett.
And Gina?
You can find me on the same at Purple Pain.
And send us an email at WNRpodcast@gmail.com. And YouTube, like I said, we appreciate everything. Like I said, we're live streaming on YouTube now, so we'd like to thank for all the comments and everything else that we're getting on YouTube.
Thank you.
We're on the road to 1,000. We're gonna. I promise we're gonna try and get there before the anniversary show. I know it's not too much to ask for everybody, and thanks, like I said, for liking, subscribing, and everything else that goes along the way. And podcasts on YouTube, same time on SoundCloud as well, on your phone, also Spotify and iTunes, where you can download, subscribe, rate, and review there. Our next episode is tomorrow, and it is Stand and Deliver. And girls, you are welcome, but after probably spending 3 hours with me tonight, you probably don't want to do the same tomorrow. But Monty, you're looking forward to it, aren't you?
I watched a little bit of it. My prediction ain't going well, so I'm not looking forward to it.
Well, we can all look forward to next weekend, though, with the WrestleMania review. We will do both nights. Until then, I've been James Bonus, always joined by the fantastic Jaxie Scarlett. Jaxie, you and I have done half of the podcast together on the WNR, Crazy. The
I
WrestleManias
know.
even.
Time flies. Time flies when you're having fun. Have fun with WrestleMania, everyone, tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
Right, now, and of course, the mind of Monty. And Monty, you don't mind me saying this. I need to beat you. I don't have to. I need it. It's like Stone Cold and The Rock sitting in the locker room with JR.
Well, I hope it's not some old man who deal. You can screw me out of this win. Like you made a deal with Triple H or something that you're not telling me about.
Yeah.
We'll see, man. We'll see. I'm gonna be honest with you. If a couple things don't go my way tonight, that NXT show might be a little salty. I'm just letting you know, right? Just letting you know.
Oh, we'll see what happens. And of course, the genius of Gina. Gina, we need your G site to return to beat Monty at WrestleMania.
Please, please, if there are any higher wrestling gods up there looking down on me, please give me my G site back. Please let me win this. I'm
Without a
begging you.
doubt. Please, yeah. Well, like we said, we are less than an hour away from WrestleMania, so we hope everyone.